football from Sports Sound
on BBC Radio Scotland.
Welcome to Open Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. It's actually quite interesting. I've seen quite a good debate online about Harvey Barnes. We were just chatting about it in the studio there when David Gray was speaking. So it's an interesting one, and sure it's one that will be returned to many times between now and the World Cup finals next summer. So let's just take a wee bounce around the grounds. 4 games kicking off in the top flight at 3 o'clock. A reminder, our second comment of the day, that comes from Paisley. St Mirren against Celtic. That kicks off at 8 o'clock, about 5:30 till 7 o'clock. We'll be joined by fans of various clubs. We'll also speak to them, of course, about the Scotland national side. Also, Tom, just before we go around the grounds, we'll be joined by a Rangers fan. Interesting week for them in terms of the financial results coming out, and also a Celtic fan will join us ahead of kick-off in Paisley, and plenty to speak to him about, given these remarkable scenes yesterday.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a confrontation which both sides lost. Celtic fans had an opportunity to hold the board's feet to the fire, and a number of them blew it because of their shouting, and Celtic board had an opportunity to maybe try and build bridges, and instead Ross Desmond blew them up. So it's dysfunctional at that club right now. And just while we cross to Ibrox, you wrote a piece on the financial results. Yeah, financial results. Look, the bottom line is more heavy losses, but underneath that, 14.8 million loss, record revenues. The thing that comes screaming out off the page of the accounts is that gate receipts and Europe are absolutely pivotal to this club now more than ever, and with the whole coefficient the way it is, and uncertainty for Scottish clubs going into group stage football beyond the season after next, that could be a problem. Well, Rangers are home to Livingston this afternoon. Ian McCall is there for us, just underway there. Ian, I was asking the differences you've seen under Danny Rowe. You said the key thing, he's starting to win games. Do you see a greater intensity to play under him?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think they get after the ball a wee bit more than they did. I think at times it goes forward a little bit earlier. And I just think certain players are starting to, Mikey Moore being a great example, are starting to play well and start to show confidence. I think Rascan against Dundee, who's just went down, it looks like hopefully it's not a bad injury, it's the back of his knee. He's starting to show confidence, and I think that's been the big difference. And confidence comes from a manager, but also it comes from winning games. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's how you get confidence, is by winning football matches. Right, let's get to Easter Road. Hibs at home to Dundee. Quite an interesting one this afternoon. Hibs sitting nicely on the table, Michael, but not really fired, I feel, this season. And you were saying it's been a bit of a struggle for Dundee.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I was just going to pick up on the point about Angus Gunn's tweet. He's well versed on football, talking about coming home and Scotland going home, since clearly it was Scotland that invented the game. So just wanted to make sure that he was getting the credit that he's due there, coming out with a tweet like that. Very, very perceptive of Angus Gunn to recognise that Scotland did in fact invent the modern game. This game here is hugely important for both teams, for all the reasons that you've just pointed out there. Hibs, first of all, it feels like they're just bubbling under the surface here, ready to catch light, but if they don't, it just feels like it prolongs the frustration, and then it becomes a full campaign of 1 step forward, 2 steps back type of thing. And for Dundee, as we was talking about before the game, this is a team that has changed system today. You heard the manager talking beforehand about they need to be almost a little bit more horses for courses, and whatever the game dictates, they've got to be flexible enough to change, and they've done that, largely due to the fact that, as I said, when I was looking at the starting lineup, the manager's just decided that there is a back four in place, Dre Wright playing right back rather than a third centre half. So it's a completely different setup. Obviously Hibs play with a back three as well, so it's not a like for like. The two teams are not matching up directly against each other. And Dundee, they've got to start getting a little bit of momentum again, getting points on the board. And for Hibs at home, an opportunity here. Oh my word, what a chance for Kieran Bowie. It was a great ball in from Nicky Cadden. And it was Martin Boyle round the back, and he just knocks it right back into the middle of the goals. And Kieran Bowie goes to strike it with his right boot, and it just looks like he misses it. Comes off his standing foot and away. That was a huge chance there for Hibs to get the opener.
Yeah, it was a deep cross to the back post, and Boyle puts it back across. I'm not quite sure who it is. The pictures are a little bit fragmented in that game, but I think it's potentially Josh Campbell. Maybe it gets in his way.
Oh, good goal for Falkirk. Brilliant start, Calvin Miller. It's a really good counter-attack. United have got the ball at one end. He hits a shot, he gets played through, hits a shot with the right foot. The keeper spills it for me, and it comes back to Miller. Knocks it into the back of the net. What a start from Falkirk. 1-0.
Well, keeper spills it's an understatement. I mean, he's got to catch that and collect it and take the pressure off his teammates, because it's a terrible mistake. It's a lovely cutting ball through to Miller. It's a decent strike, but the goalkeeper should absolutely be saving it. It's pretty timid, it's pretty weak, and he just parries it into his path. 1-0 Falkirk.
Yeah, I mean, what a surprise package they've been so far this season. It's outstanding, Tom, isn't it?
Yeah, look, they play a very attacking style. They've got a brilliant manager who has instilled an awful lot of resilience and an awful lot of belief in this team. And that's, it's a mistake by the goalkeeper. Miller is so sharp.
Another
there to
mistake.
follow up.
He's made a few.
Kucherenko's made far too many mistakes.
No doubt.
And Kenny, just as we're talking about Harvey Barnes, remember Scotland had Elliot Anderson up, who came up, trained, looked like he was going to make his debut, then decided no.
Would you take him back? No, we can't. But would you take him back?
100%.
Of course you would.
What a player!
Of course
That's what I'm saying, though. So you've got to try and get, Michael. They've got to try for everybody that's eligible to play for Scotland.
But can you see Steve Clarke going and asking that question?
No, Kenny,
it comes back to what Tom was saying, that there's ways and means. It's like anybody. It's like a top politician when they're starting negotiations.
Let go!
I tell you what, Partick Thistle have been anchored in their own half for the start of this game. They've got forward and they have taken the lead in front of our ultras. Thistle ahead, the ball played into the right hand side, 3 or 4 players went for it. I'll identify the score in a moment, but for sure it is Partick Thistle 1, League Leaguer St Johnstone 0.
Sensational start, chicks at 1,300 St Johnstone fans making the journey. We joined one of them later in the programme after 5:30, but what a start for Mark Wilson's side. Also a great start, as we told you, for Falkirk. 1-0 up away at Dundee United. Calvin Miller in 4 minutes, Clyde 1 and Athletic nil. Taylor Sutherland on 1 minute.
Yeah, I understand the point that Richard Foster was making. For me, I don't agree with it. I think you're cutting your nose off to spite your face. Harvey Barnes was, brought up in England. He obviously feels passionately about England. If he's getting to the stage now where he feels that may not happen, two caps for England for Harvey Barnes might be more important to him than 50 caps for Scotland. But once you join the squad, meet up with the squad, and you get involved in it, you can grow into it.
You don't think there'll be resentment within the squad?
There may be a bit of resentment in terms of if he takes an individual player out the team, but that player will need to deal with that. That's what competition's all about. And I do understand the timing of it's difficult, but we can't pick and choose. And the same conversation would have been had about these different players that have come up. If Shea Adams was 3 times the player he is, he might have held out for an England cap. That's fine. That's no problem for me.
Sorry, Jake, go on. Yeah, just to say the goal scorer Dan O'Reilly for the after 5 minutes for Thistle to put them ahead. Sorry.
All of these Scotland players they just don't want to turn up at the World Cup. They want to progress at the World Cup. They want to do well at the World Cup. And if they think that Harvey Barnes is going to help them achieve that goal, then I'm sure they'll be on board with it.
100%. There would be no resentment for me. You're bringing in a top-class player to enhance the team.
There's players as well who are Scottish who haven't got into our national team that have went elsewhere and played for other national teams. Potentially would have rather played for Scotland. It happens all the time. This whole idea of, I'm not picking him because he might say no, he was holding out for. As much as I understand the point,
I don't agree with it. I take Richard's point.
I just don't agree with it.
Yeah.
Right, let's continue. We bounce around there. And just before that, actually, Dumbarton 0-4-1. Stuart Morrison on 7 minutes. So let's just get back to you, Alan. You brought us that early goal for Falkirk. Now, saying they've been a terrific addition back to the top flight, haven't they?
They've been brilliant, really good. They've got pace in the right areas as well, in the wider areas. And they're on the attack again. Chance again for shot blocked. Really good Falkirk. It's been a great start from them. There's going to be another shot come in. Really poor. But they've been brilliant, been on the front foot. It's a real counter-attacking goal. He's got pace up front with Miller. He gets played through. It's on his weaker right foot. He doesn't catch it. The keeper does, as we've always said. He's made a right few mistakes since he's been in United number 1. He'll be disappointed with that. But a really good finish from Miller. They deserve to be ahead at the moment.
Right, let's get to Rugby Park. Kilmarnock at home to Motherwell. Billy Dodds is here for us. What's happening, Billy?
It's Kilmarnock on the attack, but it's been all Motherwell so far. You know the way Motherwell play. I don't have to tell you to be brandy football, full-backs high, wingers high up, but Kilmarnock go to counter-attack, they have a chance.
Yes, Ian McCall.
It's for the home side. Rangers 1, Livingston 0. Corner in from the right-hand side from Tavernier. It's Fernandes, I think, who's just got back in the team. What a header. I mean, it's a great corner, a lot of pace in the ball, but he's absolutely bulleted into the far top corner. Great header for Fernandes. 1-0 to Rangers.
Well, I think he did the same against Alloa, if I'm not mistaken. I know, obviously, earlier on the season, and one of his other starts now, the games he has played, especially against St Mirren, he looked really shaky. That'll settle his nerves, because he had one, Ian, right in the first minute, that he, terrible pass back to Butland.
He put Butland out wide.
Really poor. So he looked nervous, so this will do him the world of good. I mean, absolutely morphed Danny Wilson there.
It's
Danny
a sensational
big
header.
lad.
He's just monstered that into the back of the. Look at that. That is a
terrific
hell of a header.
And it came from Gassama initially. Atkins went down the side a couple of times. His delivery's not been great. Gassama does really well, puts a good ball into the box, Ian, and that's what leads to the corner.
One thing, if they're getting it side to side a lot quicker than they were 3 months ago. And hence Gassama or Ant-Man or Mikey, whoever's playing, has got more time to get the touch forward and get ahead of steam up to attack somebody.
Even the first few minutes, the one thing you do notice is exactly what you just said. They're moving the ball a lot quicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spent decent money on him, didn't they?
In the net.
3.5 million.
God. Yeah, Michael.
Hibs were trying to score the perfect goal there, right through the centre of the park, on the edge of the box. 1-2s, and nobody really could get out their feet to have a strike. It eventually landed at Jamie McGrath, and he was about 12 yards out. He's on the angle, and he just tried to flick it into the corner, but John McCracken was able to get down and make the save comfortably enough.
Right, let's get back to Billy Dodds at Rugby Park.
Yeah, you just came to me when Kilmarnock had the first chance of the game, but it's been all Motherwell. Talked about that brandy play, getting the full-backs forward, wide men high, and then they had all the ball, but then Kilmarnock broke on them a couple of times. They've got the two small guys up front, and Anderson and Tiffany, and then Kelty joining in, so it's the three small guys, but Kelty, it came to him, it was a good passing move on the counter-attack, edge of the box. That's a left foot strike. The goalkeeper Callum Ward had to beat it away with his left hand, but it's an intriguing game this. Obviously, I said to Kenny, Kilmarnock desperate to get back on board with a win. They've started with plenty of energy, but you can see the confidence is low, and Motherwell just ticking along nicely, as I say.
There's Kieran Bow on his left foot. Is that a deflection? Yeah, it is. It was a good header from Rocky Bashiri. McCracken had played up the field. Bashiri came on it, headed it straight back up the park. Bowie took it on the left foot, half turn. He was about 25 yards out. I had another touch, I had the strike. I thought he choked it, but it ends up deflecting off one of the Dundee defenders and behind for the corner kick. Still 0-0.
Dundee are struggling a wee bit, Mikey. They can't deal with Hibs at the moment. A slow start.
Yeah, it's been exactly. It's been quite bright from Hibs. They've looked dangerous, but they've not troubled the goalkeeper as yet.
Right, in England, the lunchtime kick-off finished Burnley 0, Chelsea 2 in the 3 o'clock start. Just a 1 goal. Bournemouth 0, West Ham United 1. Callum Wilson with that goal on 11 minutes. Let's get back into the Championship. An electric start at Firhill. Chuck Young.
It's brilliant, Kenny. It's like a summer's day. Your sun coming right across the pitch. The players going end to end. The pace of the game, the appetite for this Championship between these two clubs is quite terrific to watch. There's been a pace in the game, and just 1 goal, of course, coming after the 5th minute. Dan O'Reilly giving Thistle the lead. The ball played in the right side. There's a bunch of players went for it, and he just got it beyond Tony Stewart in the St Johnstone goal, and it had been out St Johnstone before that. But here's a chance for Logan Chalmers. He's just pulled it out. He's gone beyond the post. So Thistle getting back in. I tell you, it was all St Johnstone for the opening spell. Thistle on almost the first attack scored, and it's been all Thistle since then. This is just brilliant stuff. What a week this has been.
I have to say, I'm surprised that Smith's on the bench for Livingston today. They knew they had the injuries that Rangers had ahead of time, as Rangers looked like they could be in here.
Yeah, it was. I knew it was offside even before he put his flag up. I mean, he's passed the ball forward. He's at least 2 or 3 yards offside. Yeah. I mean, he missed the chance anyway. But I was just waiting for the linesman to put his flag up, which he eventually did. I hate that rule. I just put your flag up because he's offside.
Aye, definitely. But with Magoma, who has shown in flashes he's decent going forward, struggled defensively. Yeah. Fernandes a bit of an unknown quantity at this moment in time, and Giga, who has massively struggled with some terrible mistakes. I'm surprised Smith's not on the team, and even without Smith in the team, they've got Pittman on the right hand side and May on the left. I would move May across and get him running in between Fernandes and Magoma and testing him, because Pittman wants to come to the ball. He doesn't want to run in behind.
What you don't want is Pittman too close to May, because I'll tell you what, they're doppelgangers. Yeah. Unbelievable. I think David Martindale was talking that during the week, I think. Goodness me, they're identical.
What do you make of Asgard, Rory?
I think the jury's still out on him. He's shown with that goal he scored a couple of weeks ago in the league at home, it was a great goal. I think he's got to do more. I think he's big, he's physical, he's got good ability, but at this moment in time we've seen so many players like that come and go at Rangers without actually making an impact. I think he's a bit one-dimensional at times. I think he can burst a gut more to get in the box and try and get in the end of things, so I think he's got potential, but I don't think he's doing enough at this moment in time.
Right, let's get to the game at East End Park. Dunfermline at home to Morton. Willie Miller is there for us. 15 minutes in, Willie, what's happening?
Yeah, Kenny, it's pretty lively. We haven't had really any goal-mouth incidents, though. Most of the energetic plays between the penalty boxes, but it's fast build-up, that's for sure. Dunfermline maybe a little bit slower in the build-up than Morton. Morton seemed to be a direct type of style that they play and get up behind and try to support from midfield. But no goals yet, no major chances either.
Right, goal.
It's come from Motherwell. I mean, it's Longello on that left-hand side, a big deep swinging cross. I think is it Dominic Thompson for Kilmarnock? He's got to do better at the back post. He completely misses it, and it's Maswedisi. He takes a touch and toe pokes it in at the near post. I don't know, Rory, tell me about the goalkeeper, because it was in at the near post. But anyway, it's Kilmarnock now, Motherwell 1.
Yeah, it's another really good cross. It's so deep to the back post. I think it catches Dom Thompson off guard.
How's he missed?
Yeah, Mikey.
Kieran Bowie just is not happening for him, is it? Great play from him. Starts with Berlasser at the back. He plays it out into McGrath's path. A really nice pass. McGrath spins, plays it out to the right hand side. Cadden slips in. Mulligan, who clips into the middle of the box. Kieran Bowie is running in. Goal at his mercy, probably 5 yards out at this point. Free header, and he puts it over the crossbar. I can't believe it.
It's possibly harder to put it over the bar than under the bar there.
It is. Just to very quickly go back to the goal at Rugby Park. Now, I was going to give the goalkeeper the benefit of the doubt, Dodgy, because I thought it went through his legs, which can happen, but it doesn't. It goes in at his front post. He should absolutely do better. As for Kieran Bowie, I said a few weeks ago, the only criticism I would have of him is he doesn't get in between the sticks enough to score goals like that.
He did it there, and I've no idea. All over the place, just his jump.
I seen it very quickly. Tom will comment. It was the Motherwell goal I was watching.
Well, you'll see it here now again.
Watch this.
I mean, this is the miss of the season for me.
There was a VAR check for that Motherwell goal, but I think it's given.
Yeah, you can see it in his face.
I thought you were about to say there was a VAR check for that miss, Dodgy.
Should be.
He looks disappointed.
I know VAR not Scotland will make it.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, the start of the season,
it's another example of confidence.
Start of the season, he was so full of confidence, Ian, and he was playing incredibly well.
Absolutely.
He almost turtlenecks it though, Michael, like he doesn't really want to go and head it. I don't know if he thinks he's going to get hit.
Pass. I don't know, but maybe we should get VAR onto it. Comes up with some strange decisions. Might end up giving a goal there.
Yeah, it was a terrible miss, you'd have to say. Goal elsewhere. It was an equaliser for Dumbarton at home to for Leighton McIntosh in 15 minutes. One apiece there. Confirmation that Motherwell goal to Wanda Maswedisi in 60 minutes. Killy 0, Motherwell 1. Let's get back to you, Willie, at East End Park.
Yeah, Kenny, thanks. I was in the process of saying there's nothing really happening, but if you want more of that process, I can easily give you. It's a really tight game,
That's goal at Ibrox.
Ian McCall.
And it's for Livingston. Long ball through I think it was in the left back area. It's Yenge. I thought it was touch and go for offside. The guys will tell me in the studio. Yenge's got onto it. He's out muscled. I think it might have been Fernandes, and he's just slipped it by Butland. Got to the ball before Butland and slipped it underneath him. Yeah. It's 1-1.
Giga doing what Giga does.
Don't get Tom English started.
Well, he's
in
causing
Giga.
a goal, but then it's the afterwards as if it's everyone else's fault.
Was he definitely onside, Rory?
Here we go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he just runs off Giga. He's watching the ball, Giga.
Oh my goodness.
And it's a straight ball down the middle of the pitch. Antman gives the ball away initially, and it's a straight ball from Pittman, straight over the top. Running in behind is Yengi. Giga's daydreaming. Last ditch tackle. It goes through Butland's legs. But Giga all over the shop. Fernandez can't make the ground up to recover.
Two things there. Appalling defending from Giga, and before that Antman dispossessed, and he just sits on the ground, does nothing about it.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that as well, but Antman as a winger, of course he should be back up, but you shouldn't be losing a goal if a wide player attacks a guy 20 yards from the opposition goal. You shouldn't be losing a goal from that. It's one ball, it's a punt on the park.
But Ian, if you've got Giga, why would you not target him all day long with balls over the top?
Absolutely.
That's the point I was making.
Dundee have had to make a substitution, and Mari Samuels has gone off and Ryan Astley's come on. I'm just checking to see if
there's a goal check here, guys. Possible offside.
It's a goal for Dunfermline.
Yes, Willie.
It's a goal for Dunfermline, and it's well worked. Good cross in from the left hand side, and Charlie Gilmore kind of a ghost in behind the back four. It's whipped in, it's round about shoulder height. He's still got to show composure just to let it glance off the side of his head, and he delivers it into the far corner to give Dunfermline the lead here. So not an awful lot happening, but certainly that's brought this crowd to life. 1-0 Dunfermline.
Goal's been given here. Kenny 1-1.
It's onside.
I thought you guys said in the studio about 5 minutes ago it was onside.
It looked so clear, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it clearly.
The second viewing it looked tighter, but we didn't have it straight across the lines, Mikey. But I mean, it was quite clearly onside.
It only took them a couple of minutes, so it was a quick one.
Airdrie 0, Ayr United 1. Mark McKenzie on 19 minutes, and Forfar back in front away at Dumbarton 2-1 up there. Angus Mailer on 17 minutes.
Kenny, I was just going to say, for Rangers and for Danny Rule, that is a serious concern, having Cornelius and John Suter out for a period of time, because Giga and Fernandez are a bomb scare, never mind as a pairing, as individuals. So to have the two of them in centre defence, that is a real issue for Rangers.
I haven't seen enough of Fernandez,
murder,
but I've seen more than enough of Giga.
Just say what you mean there, Mike.
Giga has got zero discipline as a defender. He goes to sleep, he gives up, and they've got a massive problem. I think Rangers
there's an issue here. There's an issue here.
Right.
It's a yellow card. Grant Hanley comes across with is it Simon Murray? It's Simon Murray.
Here we go again.
He just got his arm across him a bit, and the referee is coming across, Stephen McLean, and he's obviously wondering and thinking what's happened, because Simon Murray went down, and he pulls the card out. But as he's doing it, you're thinking to yourself, is he feeling that there was something more serious? It looked just like a coming together for me. I've not seen the replay, but
I think Yengi's just missed a sitter here, guys. If you have a look at it, I think it was a sitter that Michael was talking there, but I think he's got to finish it at the back post. Again, it was his centre back.
Oh, I hit his hand.
Oh, it does hit his hand.
It's his hand. I mean, that's very close to being a penalty. But it's chaos at the back.
They've got to look at that, haven't they? Ibrox, they've got to look at potential handball.
It's going towards goal, and there's not a lot of pace on the ball, but I'm surprised they've not checked it. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, go back to
the Grant Hanley one. He does.
It is a yellow card. I've just seen a replay there. It does look like a yellow for me.
Yeah, he does catch him flush in the face, but what he's trying to do is get his arm across Simon Murray. He's not intentionally trying to elbow him in the face. Now, intention doesn't always play a part, but he's just trying to get his body in front of Simon Murray. I think a yellow card's correct.
This is beginning to be a problem for Dundee United now. It's a corner to Falkirk, and they've got 5 players, Falkirk, in that 6-yard box, crowding the keeper because they know, and he's had a nightmare. I've just called it. He's punched it in his own net.
Oh no!
Absolute disaster. I'm just saying it. They're crowding his box because he's terrible at cross balls. The corner comes in. He throws a left punch at it, literally, and punches it into his own net.
He's shaking his head here.
And he's done that before as well. He's literally punched the ball into the net before as well.
They're going to need to make a sub here.
I was going to ask him. He's distraught.
The centre-back's actually counselling him through.
That's right.
He looks distraught.
That trauma,
So you'd make a change.
I think that, based on the reaction of him, I mean, he's literally just punched it in the net, as Alan says. the big centre-backs actually went straight up to him and having a word in his ear, and oh my goodness, it's worse.
It's going to be a nervous wreck. He already is.
He goes one-handed with what looks like his weaker hand, and it just slides off his glove and into the corner.
Why doesn't he come out with a bit of physicality and just catch that ball?
Well, confidence is the same as what we've said about the strikers before.
He's not under any pressure, Tom, here.
No.
He can catch that ball. There's nobody near him, and he just punches it with his left hand.
Look at this again. So here's this one at Ibrox strikes. Why they're not looking at it as a potential penalty to Livingston? Look at that there.
I think that's a penalty.
It is a penalty, yeah.
That is bizarre.
A handball, and he, may seem harsh, but on the actual evidence we've seen so far, the ball, not with a great deal of pace, is going towards the goal.
Oh, what a strike, Barlaser. Good save for McCracken. There was a ball into the box, got headed out to the edge of the box, and Barlaser, he caught it on the volley. He was stretching a bit, but he got it down into the corner. John McCracken gets across and makes a good save.
Right, just to go back to that one at Ibrox then, so it was Yengi with that shot that Ian felt he should have buried, rightly so, at the back post. It hit the defender's hand, but I'm told they have checked it and they've cleared it.
Yeah, he doesn't get any power behind it, Yengi. It bounces up and he's almost trying to guide it into the corner, but if it's an effort on target which is going towards goal, I don't think there's any doubt the keeper's going to save it. However, you can see that a few times up at Tannadice today. Don't always know that. From what I've seen this season, I would expect that to be given as a penalty.
That's a big moment. We're having the discussion earlier about Harvey Barnes. Away section says dropping a young Scottish player out of the World Cup squad to accommodate him unethical, he says.
2-0.
Yes,
one corner. Wait till you see this. Mother will play it short. It's flicked. Kilmarnock fans are not happy. The boos have started. It's flicked into, I think it's Maswanisi again, is it? And he just hits it. It comes back down, and he just absolutely lasers it into the top of the net to put Motherwell 2-0 up.
Kenny, I mean, I get the point, and I completely understand it, the other side of the debate. But if you follow that rule and that logic, are you then saying every player that's in the squad is a young Scottish player or a Scottish player?
I think maybe the fact that it's taken so long, he's not committed, Mike. That's the key, isn't it?
I totally understand that, but the point there being made that if a Scottish player has to drop out, they're all Scottish players. But if you're going down that sort of line of thinking, is it okay if then like Che Adams drops out? Do you know what I mean? Because that's the mindset that's been there. They're all Scottish players, they've all played a part, and that's where I completely understand it is difficult for the manager, and he's going to be contemplating all those things in terms of adapting into the squad, the ability to be able to keep the atmosphere right. Is it going to upset the apple cart? All those things will come into the manager's thinking, of course, but he's going to have to weigh that up with the quality that he brings, and is it worth making that judgment call?
Just quickly, Tom, talking of quality, that goal at Rugby Park that Motherwell scored was quality. Dodgy. I mean, Kilmarnock switch off, but the routine was excellent. Into the front post, flip round the corner, Maswanisi first time, it rebounds back to him, but really, really well worked corner.
Yeah, we've got a Motherwell fan and a Kilmarnock fan joining us later in the programme.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's the Maswanisi. He's racking up the goals, isn't he, Maswanisi?
He's a good player.
He is a good player.
He's effective.
Yeah.
And I've heard that he's got a Scottish granny.
Can't get him in the squad till after the World Cup.
And Harvey Barnes, does he make Scotland a better team, a better squad? Yes. That's my starting point.
Does he need the guarantee that he's going to go to the World Cup?
Well, why would you ask him and then not pick him?
Because there's somebody better, perhaps.
Well, who?
We've not found him yet, Willie.
I'm not saying that. I'm just putting a question forward. I'm putting a question forward. Does he need the guarantee to be in the World Cup? That's all I'm saying.
No, he should be asked.
Does he want to play for Scotland?
Do you want to be considered for Scotland? Yes or no?
The first question should be, do you want to play for Scotland? It shouldn't be, do you want to go to the World Cup? I'm sorry to say.
Yes.
Yeah?
Absolutely right. Yeah.
East Kilbride 0, Edinburgh City 1. Innes Lawson with that goal there. So just a few goals. What I'll do actually, I'll go around and give you all the latest scores for now, and then we'll get more reports, updates from the guys. So in the Premiership, it is Dundee United 0, Falkirk 2, Hibs 0, Dundee 0, Kilmarnock 0, Motherwell 2, Rangers 1, Livingston 1. 8 o'clock starting pace. It's at Mirren against Celtic. Full commentary to come right here on BBC Radio Scotland. In the Championship, Airdrie 0, Ayr United 1, Arbroath 0, Wraith Rovers 0, Dunfermline 1, Morton 0, Partick Thistle 1, St Johnstone 0. In League 1, Cove Rangers 0, Alloa Athletic 0, Hamilton Accies 1, Kelty Hearts 1, Montrose 1, East Fife 0, Peterhead 0, Stenhousemuir 1. 5:30 start. Inverness Cally Thistle are at home to Queen of the South. And in League 2 this afternoon, Clyde 1, Annan Athletic 0, Forfar have just scored a third, Dumbarton 1, Forfar 3, East Kilbride 0, Edinburgh City 1 and Spartans 0, Stranraer 1. Stranraer just going ahead in that one. Stirling Albion 0, Elgin City 0. That goal for Stranraer scored by Darren Lang on 27 minutes. Yes.
Oh my word, check this one. He's given to Motherwell a free kick. It looked as if the Kilmarnock player was caught. It might have been a penalty, been a soft one, but
Gary, I've got to say, I've just seen that incident at Ibrox. How on earth can VAR justify not giving that?
I can't believe that's not a penalty to Livingston.
That is unfathomable that VAR has looked at that and said, nah, his arm's outstretched, it's on target. That is...
Yeah, it's a penalty kick, Mike, for sure.
That's outrageous from VAR.
That's certainly a strange one, but the information we're getting is they looked at it, as you'd expect, and they have decided that is not a penalty. Very interesting to see.
We know that because they didn't give it.
Yeah, but they're giving us that information, because sometimes you might think, has it been missed because of the chance of that post, but they have actually looked at it and decided it's not.
It's in the middle of the flaming goals.
It's a penalty kick all day long, for sure. Absolutely.
Interesting what David Martindale's got to say about that
just
one.
On the
well,
one
will Willie Collin be complaining or apologising to the next club this week? Because that's a shocker.
Just on the one
absolute shocker.
At Rugby Park, Billy, I don't think it's a free kick either way. I think it's just natural football contact. I don't think there was
the Kilmarnock fans have been on the referee's case. He's not been great, Ryan Lee, but they feel as if he's given everything to Motherwell. There's a few dodgy ones, but on that occasion, I'm like you, I'm thinking, right, there's nothing in it, but he ends up giving a free kick to Motherwell when it looked as if maybe the Kilmarnock player was in possession.
I mean, Bruce Anderson goes down too easy. I just don't think it's a foul or free kick to anyone, which is okay at times. Just seen that Rangers one back again. I mean, how they haven't given it is crazy. Ian,
here's Nicky Cadden. There's Bowie. What a goal! What a goal from Hibs and Bowie. That's a good finish. I tell you, it starts over on the right hand side, just in front of the dugouts. Dan Berlasser plays a great crossfield ball to Cadden, Nicky Cadden, in a load of space. He actually takes a couple of extra touches, but he spins away for the defender, drops his shoulder back onto the left foot. It's not the best ball into the box, but Bowie gets to the near post, gets control, he spins and he fires it in low. I think it maybe goes through the keeper's legs in the end, but it's a big goal. You can see the relief for Kieran Bowie, a weight off his shoulders there. Good goal.
He's absolutely shaking his head, blowing out his cheeks, going, oh, thank God I scored after missing that earlier one.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly how it looked. But Hibs deserve to be in front from what we've seen so far. I mean, not seen a sniff of Dundee. Cadden's a great outlet down that side. He cuts inside, cuts back again.
I think what we'll do, we sometimes get it, we sometimes don't. We should ask VAR just for an explanation on that, why it wasn't given, what the terminology would be for that. They're just interesting for us to understand, and also important, I think, for those at the game to get an explanation. We can read it out after the game as well, so hopefully we'll get that from VAR HQ. Yes, big save.
Wait, see this for this save. Yeah, it could have been 3-0 Motherwell. It's just like wide left play, into the box, dummies. It's caught with the outside of the foot, and I'll tell you, the Kilmarnock goalkeeper, Oluwuemi, he has got a right hand to it and just palmed it away. Good save.
Just watching that replay of Kieran Bowie's goal there, that's a really nice first touch. That's what sets it all. His first touch to set himself perfectly, to put his boot right behind it. It's the power that goes past the goalkeeper. As I said, I think it's through McCracken's legs, but you know, I saw Hibs obviously before the international break against St Mirren, and they were very impressive. As the game went on, the game was just starting to come together. All the components, Nicky Cadden coming at the fore in the second half, and once he starts playing, that just brings a different dynamic to Hibs. And certainly, as I said, it wasn't the world's best cross that he can produce, but he's an outlet, as I think Rory just mentioned before, and once he starts playing, it changes Hibs, it takes them to a different level.
Yeah, he's got so much talent.
The amount of trouble that Tete Yengi is causing Rangers.
Well, honestly, it's unbelievable. I mean, see when Rangers are attacking, the Yengi staying up the pitch, and the two centre-backs, one's about a yard behind him, the other one's standing 10 yards to his right.
There was one Ian that they floated over the top and down Fernandez's side. Fernandez runs away from the ball. Giga comes across to cover. and they get away with it. Even when it's coming up and it's a physical battle, he's taking the ball in, winning free kicks.
Yeah, and I mean, every time what Rangers are attacking, I mean, it doesn't have to be a good pass, anything down the side, because there's not one guy sweeping in front and one guy sweeping behind. They're all over the shop, the two centre-backs. I mean, I don't want to pile on in the centre-backs, but it's such a basic thing.
I'll never come back that. We'll let that one big centre-back and one sweeper. It's a way to deal with him.
Oh, yeah, you're one in front and one behind, Willie, and somebody give up a little bit of depth.
Absolutely.
There's one of the markers, I think it's Gigas standing behind him when Rangers are attacking. Fernandes is 10 yards to his left. Oh, it's incredible.
What an effort. Falkirk have been absolutely brilliant. You can hear the Dundee United fans booing in the background. Falkirk are giving them an absolute booing. That was a volley there from Wilson for the edge of the box. It comes to the left-hand side. It's flipped into him. Edge of the box, right foot volley just wide of the target. Falkirk are running riot here at Tannadice, 2-0.
Did the same to Kilmarnock a couple of weeks ago.
How long can they hold on to John McGlynn?
It's a good point. I mean, what a job. What a job.
It is dicey enough times for Dundee United, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they're drawn too many games, losing again. One win in, what is it, 6 coming into this?
Yeah, 1 win in 6. 3 draws.
Have a wee look at this from Jack Iredale. He does brilliant on the edge of the box, wins it, knocks it around the Dundee player. He's run out the park and goes to play the ball with outside his boot and kicks it straight out the park.
Yeah.
That is pretty special. Down in England, Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Murillo with that goal on 33 minutes. Just confirmation that Kieran Bowie goal. He needed that, you felt, as Michael was saying. Kieran Bowie with the goal in 30 minutes. Hibs 1, Dundee 0. Let's get back to the game then at Rugby Park. You were saying that the home fans, of course, not happy there. Billy, it's a tough time for Stuart Kettle, isn't it?
It is, and the Motherwell fans, obviously him being the ex-Motherwell manager, weren't helping either. They were giving it, you're getting sacked in the morning. You can imagine how they're enjoying it. Kilmarnock are fighting back though, a little bit of pressure. It's more route one, and that's funny because they've got 3 small guys up front, but it seems to be working. They're not bad in there. Bruce Anderson, they flick things on, and then when they get throw-ins and launching in the box, and they have a corner as we speak. So there's a little bit of fight back from Kelly.
Yeah, chance.
Claims for a penalty here, actually.
Hibs with another opportunity, breaking quickly. It came to Chris Cadden on the right hand side. Boyle was running beyond him. He slipped it just in behind the defence, but Boyle couldn't get his boot wrapped around it, and it goes past the near post. Still 1-0 to Hibs.
They've dropped a good few points from winning positions this season, Mikey, so David Gray will be keen to go in 2-3 up with the chances of creating.
Absolutely, yeah. That's been the story of the campaign, really, for Hibs so far. They're sitting third, but they could comfortably be sitting second had they not dropped so many points from winning positions, as you said.
Bournemouth 0, West Ham 2. Callum Wilson with that goal on 35 minutes. Yeah, chance.
Yeah, it's a head up for Dundee United, but straight at Scott Bain. His birthday today, 34 years of age. Comfortable save from him there. Dundee United have hardly been in this game. Falkirk have been quite brilliant and backed by a magnificent away support.
I can't believe your old team here at Firhill, St Johnstone, pounding Thistle. And here's Thistle on the break. This is what happened earlier on. Valley been in the St Johnstone half, and here's Thistle forward. They've given it away that time. There's a long range shot comes in that's been dealt with. Thistle have defended absolutely brilliantly. It was a claim for a penalty just a moment ago. Jason Holt played it off what seemed to come off a Thistle defender's hand, but it probably played him. It was probably the right decision with Thistle that St Johnstone were claiming for that. It's an astonishing game. Remember, the Jags are 1-0 ahead from that 5th minute goal from Danny O'Reilly, but it's been all St Johnstone the last spell. I just can't believe they're not going to get a goal this afternoon. Thistle have been great in organising their defence, but it's all St Johnstone pounding forward, and it's still 1-0 to my years of Maryhill.
Right, check. Hopefully I can get this in before anything else happens. You can react to this. So, an English listener, Peter O'Connor. I'm an Englishman obsessed with Scottish football, league and the national team. I get to games from Sussex when I can. Did Hibs v Livy the other week. I did Aberdeen v FCSB this year as well. I know you've had messages on social media, but I don't have any accounts. Thought a relatively old-fashioned email was best. Outstanding coverage on Tuesday. The TV on in the lounge. I can hear the radio in the kitchen. I often take sports on Sky Q and listen back. Absolutely love it. Fantastic emotional commentary from Alistair Lamont. He talks about Kenny Dalglish, Dave Neary, Archie Gemmell. He said, I love you get all the big names out across sports and even Leanne made a comeback. She was there on Tuesday night. And here we go, Chick, says this listener is Peter O'Connor. He says, an absolute masterstroke to have Chick Young there with you in the radio. His knowledge and context is so valuable. What do you say to that?
Way too far.
Knowledge.
See that thing about
That's a spell
Is that your
check.
burner account? Email account, Chick, is it?
So that's an old-fashioned email, an old-fashioned thing though, an email.
Well, it's nice. We'll take praise however we get it. That's nice, isn't it?
Well, I shouldn't have sent it under an assumed name, to be honest with you, but that's very...
You'd have faxed it.
Very, very, very nice. Thank you. I take that as a compliment. And my visa's ready for...
Right, if you get any more, if you want to send a voice note on WhatsApp, 08085 92 95 double.
He can't send a voice note and give him away.
That's true, yeah, indeed, disguise the voice. Eco Bride, I think, lies at home to Edinburgh City. Connor Young with that goal on 36 minutes. Let's get back to Willie Miller. What's happening at East End Park, Willie?
Dunfermline have taken control of it, Kenny, although Adelaide had a little opportunity there on the break, but 1v1 for the goalkeeper. It was a tight angle and he's kind of had brain freeze, to be perfectly honest. He did nothing with it and basically allowed the ball to run back to Terrell and go. But Dunfermline had the chance to make it two. It was Barney Stewart that had the opportunity. And he should have done better. He tried to slot it into the bottom corner. Listen, it's a good save by Stora, I must admit, but for me it should have been the second goal. So Dunfermline well on top as we approach half-time.
Alan Preston.
It's a header by Fata off the bar. It's a good ball in. Dundee United getting bodies in the box for once, and it's a decent header. Beats Scott Bain, but crashes off the bar and away to safety.
Right,
Still
Tom,
2-0 with Falkirk.
Tom, is that an update on the penalty we thought Livy should have had at Ibrox?
Yes, there is an update. VAR Central say that Fernandez's arm was in a natural position, and they also talk about proximity.
Right, so proximity, natural position. The ball is going towards the goal. It's a shot. Is that not the very essence of a penalty kick nowadays?
Without a great deal of pace, Rory, as well. So without a great deal of pace, then proximity is not exactly the major issue.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we all disagree with.
Yeah, I mean,
and his arms in a natural position. His arms actually swinging as it hits the ball.
So just to be clear, that's not the opinion that's come from Willie Collin. That's the decision that was reached. The guidance.
That's the reason they did not give the penalty.
The guidance is there to be followed. None of that matches the criteria that for not giving a penalty. It's a penalty kick every day.
None of that matches. You're absolutely right. That's the criteria, but none of that actually matches the reality of what happened.
Yeah, listen, I'm sure we'll put that to Davy Martindale after the game. East Fife will equalise at Montrose 1-1. Andy Monroe with that goal in 32 minutes.
Davy Martindale will be incensed.
Well, Yengi was nearly in again there, 1-1 with the goalie, just because the two centre-backs just aren't handling him.
I mean, what about Livingston? What have you made of them this afternoon, Ian?
Well, listen, the space between, I mean, they're basically 9 behind the ball, 10 including the goalie and Yengi staying up front. But I tell you what a handful there is, because the two centre-backs just aren't doing their job properly. Diamondi's doing well for Rangers. They look okay going forward, but defensively, particularly in the centre of the defence, are a shambles. I mean, and Nico Raskin's, as much as I think he's a top player, could go on to be a really top player, he's given the ball away 2, 3, 4 times in real difficult areas for his teammates. And in the position that you play in the team, Raskin can't be giving the ball away like that. But the problem is at centre-back. I mean, there's no doubt about it. There shouldn't be such a drop-off in quality when you use your two first-choice centre-backs.
I look, and it's happened 3 or 4 times now that I've seen. Ian, Rangers lose the ball, and the player who's lost the ball stops, has a little bit of a moan, and only then does he react.
Yeah, and then I think that's right, Tom. But then it's just a lump forward. I mean, it's not always a good pass. I mean, I don't want to do with a disservice. Sometimes it's a clearance, and because they're not picking Yengi up correctly, and because I think he looks as if he's got the legs in both of them, he's onto the ball first, and he's letting Livingston get up the park. Just before you came to me, he was almost 1-on-1, but for Jack Butland coming about 25-30 yards off his line to clear, which he should do. But again, it was Yengi onto the first loose ball.
Ian, I know it's difficult live, but whereabouts was the referee when it happened?
The penalty incident. I was concentrating. I don't know if the guy said Yengi, I thought missed a sitter just after it.
Yeah.
In the same
move.
The same bit of play, yeah. And at the time, I didn't see Livingston players claiming for it, to be honest. So it was a tough one to see, because I thought, I mean, Yengi's got to score. It's 6 yards out. He's got to stick it in the net.
I mean, see when it comes to the penalty that was given against Anthony Ralston at Hampden, right? For me, that was given because the ball was heading towards goal. You know, he comes out, he rushes, he throws his body at it, and it does hit his arm. But for me, there's a debate to say that if it's not going towards the goal, then it's not a penalty kick. I mean, that criteria there, I mean, he shoots, he's 5 yards away, his arm moves towards the ball, it's going towards goal, it strikes his hand. I don't understand how that can't be given.
Was it after Yengi's shot?
Yeah, it just went directly from his foot to you.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Dunfermline, every time you mention Yengi, Willie Miller shakes his head.
He's actually done well, I've got to say. He's done well today, he really has.
What Yengi are you talking about?
Oh no, I'm talking about the Livingston one.
Yeah, indeed. There's only 2 Yengis.
Spartans nil, Stranraer 3. Aaron Quigg with that goal on 39 minutes. The thing is, Thomas, I'd imagine it'd be a hefty loan fee for Giga and $3.5 million for Fernandes.
Yeah, look, I mean, we've talked about the Rangers recruitment, and a lot of it has been really, really wasteful, expensive. They've spent north of 30 million on players since the summer, and it doesn't look like it.
The thing is, as well,
it does not look like it.
Ala's on the bench, and he wasn't perfect by any stretch. And
No.
he had a difficult time down at Rugby Park on Barry Ferguson's first game in charge, and it could have been either of the two of them, Robin Propper or Insiala, come off that day. But why he's on the bench and Giga's starting, because Giga's been poor every single time he's played.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I wouldn't rule out Fernandes yet.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't do that. He certainly, well, I mean, he certainly physically
$3.5 million.
Well, I've only seen him once. I've only seen him once. So he certainly in the opposing box is very impressive. To me, he looks a wee bit kind of heavy. I'm not sure whether he could lose a bit of weight to get a little bit sharper across the ground, but he looks like
$3.5 million, Ian.
Well,
that is a
that.
classic English overinflated market.
Yeah, but listen, you're talking about the club that spent $8.5 million on a striker as well. So, I think there is a little bit of potential there just through his physique, but he needs to be playing with a centre back that knows what he's doing, that's got a bit of nous about him and a bit of knowledge.
That's different if you're picking him up on a free. When you're spending $3.5 million,
you need to be ready-made, really.
I think it's too early to write off Fernandes. I mean, this is only his 4th game for Rangers, I think. So, but Giga is a different story. Giga's not only a poor defender, I think he gives up too easily. I think there's a number of examples of him now.
And he's a lone player that's playing ahead of the $3.5 million signing. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Mikey, what you're saying is he's overpriced, like way overpriced.
Yeah, but everybody's passing judgment on Giga, and he's playing ahead of the $3.5 million signed player. He's not a loanee, he's signed. So that tells its own story, by the way. Two managers that have decided that Giga is a better option than the signed player of $3.5 million.
Yeah, listen, it's got to be a concern. What about Dundee there, Mikey? Anything at all from them in the first half at Easter Road?
There was a corner before, and what a pass that is for Barlasser. McCrath, he couldn't get his foot round it. I tell you, Dan Barlasser, the more and more I see of him, he really controls the game nicely in the middle of the park. Back to your point about Dundee, not really, is the long and short of it.
Remember, Kenny, when you said just before the game started about what we might talk about during quieter spells, and I said we might not be any quieter spells today. It's half time nearly already.
Honestly, a few things I want to speak about your Scotland goals. I'll have to do that in the second half if there is an opportunity. So plenty to talk about. The games have actually been really, really good today. More to come. 8 o'clock start in Paisley. St Mirren at home to Celtic. 5:30. We will have fans join us in the programme. The music this evening will get some of the Scotland players picking the tunes, and I have to say my favourite is chosen by Lewis Fergus. It's a song they play in the Scotland team bus as they drive down into Hampden Park.
Kenny, it's Kelly nil, Motherwell 2, and the boos are ringing around Rugby Park.
You asked me about Asgard earlier, right? So there's one there that gets played into him. It's a lazy touch round the corner, and then fair enough, he's tried something, it's no worked, and he just wanders back into position.
That's the point I'm making.
And that's what I'm meaning when I say he needs to do more. It needs to be look after the ball better, but not only do that.
I don't believe it. I do not believe it. Thistle are 2-0 ahead.
Wow.
They've been absolutely hammered. I think it's Tony Watt with the left foot drive. It's been all St Johnstone. They were all over them. Thistle got forward early, 5 minutes, took the lead through O'Reilly early on, and I have to say that goal's terrific. What a low drive, a great line it all the way with the left foot on the very threshold of half-time, into time added on, in fact. And incredibly, it's Partick Thistle 2, St Johnstone 0, and Thistle have narrowed it to 3 points with a game in hand.
Check your description of that goal. I don't believe it. You're Victor Meldrew of the airwaves. I do not believe it.
You can see it. You can see it in him in that role, that's for sure. Listen, we built up this game of the day, and it sounds like it's been a great game, and a big crowd there as well, Chick.
Absolutely massive. I'm waiting to see the attendance. Remember, I told you 1,300 St Johnstone fans coming down from Perth, and they've packed the place. So with full anticipation, there's the half-time whistle. So I told you, what a time to get a goal. Tony Watt's goal, putting Thistle 2-0 ahead. What a statement this is if they can hang on in the second half. Takes them within 3 points of St Johnstone top with a game in hand, and the singing you can hear in the background as the Jags fans, the Ultras in particular, getting behind their team as they go off at half-time. What a scoreline and a dramatic second half to come, Kenny. I'm absolutely sure it's half-time. It is Thistle 2, St Johnstone 0.
Kenny, half-time at Tannadice, Dundee United 0, Falkirk brilliant 2.
Thanks, Al. Michael?
I was just going to make another point that Fernandes is older than Giga as well, by the way. It's not even a youthful against experience debate. He's signed for $3.5 million. He's older. Giga's on loan and he's younger, and 2 managers have been playing him ahead of Fernandes. That's pretty much an indictment on the recruitment, I would suggest.
Oh, it's 100%.
Half time, Kenny. 1-0 for them, family.
Right, thanks to Willie Miller there at East End Park. We'll get some half-time reports for you, and of course the option again of second half commentary or opening nights coverage from Ibrox. Rangers 1, Livingston 1. A lot of controversy there. The feeling in the studio is, and among our pundits, is that Livy were denied what should have been a penalty when the game was at 1 apiece there. VAR checked it and felt it was a correct call. They just moved on. We've since had that guidance in from VAR HQ, but the guys are in no doubt. Livy were very hard done by there, and very interesting to hear what Davy Martindale's got to say about
half-time at Ibrox, Kenny.
Thanks to Ian McCall. One apiece there.
1-1, one apiece.
Thanks to Ian McCall there. Yes, I'm sure Davy Martindale, they've got the technology now. He'll have seen that already, won't they?
I mean, as I've just said, the SFA or the referees will say, well, we're bound by this guidance. We don't necessarily agree with it. But when you read the guidance, it doesn't marry up with what you see. So even the guidance for me isn't a defence here, because I understand they are bound by the guidance and they may not feel that the guidance is correct or they don't agree with whatever else. But even the guidance there, it's just not relevant to that incident.
Yeah, that's really interesting what's going to happen there in terms of the reaction. See Davy Martindale going off, he's shaking his head down there in the touch. I'm just waiting to see if there's a wee word if the camera panned away.
I think he's hanging about.
I just wondered, Tom, he was lingering.
He's having a word with the referee. I think I would be surprised if Martindale doesn't follow suit.
Yeah, just waiting to see. The camera's panned away from that, unfortunately, for now, so we'll not see that. We'll hear from the managers later on in the programme. Michael, still playing there at Easter Road? Have you just hit half-time?
It's just blown for half-time here, obviously, as you heard before. It's 1-0 for Hibs, the home side, thoroughly on top, thoroughly deserving of their half-time lead. They go in 1-0 up.
Good stuff. We get the half-time reports from the guys right around the country. Sports Sound is on. It's 2 actually separate programmes. They were on until 7 o'clock right here with the guys in the studio. Fans to come, reaction to come, a bit of music to come, chosen by 2 Scotland heroes this evening on Sports. And after 7 o'clock we'll hand to David Curry. He'll be in Paisley at the Smythe Stadium. St Mirren against Celtic. Full commentary to come. That one kicks off at 8 o'clock. We're on the telly today, BBC One Scotland, from 4:30 until 5:35.
Scottish football lives here.
This is Open All Mics from Sports Sound.
Go! From BBC Radio Scotland.
The European football season continues.
It's a wonderful move, by the way, and that's a wonderful goal!
Sports Sound brings you the biggest games for Scotland's biggest teams.
In the Europa League, Feyenoord hosts Celtic.
Iheanacho takes a touch and scores!
And Rangers take on Braga.
Finlay Curtis, a really nice finish.
Aberdeen play Noah at home in the Conference League.
Devlin in the back post, fires it home!
Sports Sound, where Europe comes to play.
Don't miss all the action. Thursday from 5 p.m.
Listen on digital radio or ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. So much to talk about after the first 45 minutes of action right across the country. Our commentary match this afternoon comes from Ibrox. Rangers are at home to Livingston. Our commentary team there this afternoon, Richard Foster and Paul Mitchell.
It's been a fascinating afternoon at Ibrox. Rangers 1, Livingston 1. Rangers going ahead through Emmanuel Fernandez, powering home a header. Brilliant presence inside the box. He's tall, he's strong, and boy, did he hammer that header past Jerome Prior. 1-0 for Rangers, and it all looked good. Rangers had started out reasonably well, but they were undone, as they've so often been this season. Long pass over the top. Teddy Yengi hadn't scored this term. Took the finish just nicely past Jack Butland, like he'd been knocking in 10, 20 goals all season already, but he's off the mark for this season, and that made it 1-1 after just 18 minutes. 3 minutes later, there was a shout for a penalty. Teddy Yengi got the ball away. It was blocked, and the referee decided there was nothing. VAR did review it, and they said it was a natural movement of the hand coming across, but I think David Martindale will be wanting a little word with the referee. After that, Rangers looked less convinced. I think Tavernier on one side and McComb on the other have been blocked on the runs by their willingness to try and get Gassama and Antman to be the wide players today, and Rangers have stuttered just that little bit. Richard Foster, you reckoned it was a penalty. You indicated the handball pretty quickly, and you think perhaps Rangers have got away with one.
Yeah, I just think, his arm's not overly outstretched. It will be it is a natural movement, but the ball's going on target. Jack Butland is going to have to save it. Now, it's not a hard shot. He doesn't get a good connection with it, but Jack Butland is going to have to stop the ball going in his net. But therefore the hand has stopped the ball going towards the Rangers goal. So I just think of the handballs that I've seen this season, that for me falls into the category that penalties have been given for. For me, the referee should have had to at least be sent to review it.
I think it's another prime example that the handball law is not fit for purpose and needs revisited. In terms of this match, though, Livingston have done well. They fought very hard, playing with three at the back: Silla, Finlayson and Wilson, and they're going to be tough to get past in the second half. Half-time, Rangers 1, Livingston 1.
Thanks to Paul and Richard. That's interesting. Obviously, we're not hearing the commentary. We've been doing the open all mics, but the guys have exactly the same opinion there as all of our pundits on the programme. We'll hear from Davy Martindale post-match. Next up, Easter Road, Hibs at home to Dundee. Let's get the half-time report from Michael Stewart.
Yeah, well, it's the home side that have taken a lead in at half-time. Thoroughly deserved. They've been bright, they've been inventive, they've controlled much of the game. For Dundee, it's been a backs against the wall for a large part of that first half, and John McCracken made a couple of good saves. The biggest moment in the game, though, bar the goal, was a gilt-edged opportunity for Kieran Bowie. John McCracken didn't need to bother saving it. It was a really, really well-worked move from Hibs that ended up down the right-hand side and got clipped into the box from Josh Mulligan. And with the goal at his mercy from about 5 yards out, Kieran Bowie running in towards the back post, he somehow managed to head it over the crossbar. You could tell it was weighing on his mind, that little bit of apprehension and anxiety that's led to his drop-off in form of late. It was bothering him, but thankfully for Kieran Bowie and for Hibs, he came up trumps after half an hour. Another really nice work move. Berlasser in the middle of the park, who's been another standout performer for the home side. He played a crossfield raking past Nicky Cadden, who was in loads of space over on the left. He twisted and turned, managed to get the ball into the box. Kieran Bowie with a lovely first touch just to take it away from the defenders and into his path on the left boot. And from the angle, he leathered it low into the goal, past John McCracken, to put Hibs 1-0 up. There's been a few other opportunities for the home side, but nothing as clear as that header that went over the crossbar. And as I said, half-time, it's 1-0 to the home side, thoroughly deserved. For Dundee, they're going to have to figure out a far better plan on how to try and work their way into the game and impose themselves and cause some problems, because as it stands, it looks like it could be more for the home side in the second half.
Thanks to Michael. Matthew's message then with a really good point about Dundee. I'll put that to Michael during second half of Open All Mics. Let's then get to Tannadice. What a start there. Dundee United at home to Falkirk. Let's get the half-time report from Alan Preston.
Well, it's half-time. It's Dundee United 0, Falkirk 2, and two goalkeeping mistakes by Kucherenko and the United goal given Falkirk what is a well-deserved lead. They should be more ahead, actually. In 4 minutes, Muller was played through onto his weaker right foot. He hits a shot from the edge of the box. Kucherenko goes down. He should have saved it. He knocks it out. Muller following in on his own shot, scores. Miller then had a free kick tipped away by Kucherenko, but in 22 minutes it was an absolute disaster once again for the keeper. It was a corner coming in at the near post, in swinger from Miller. Kucherenko, under no real pressure, punches into his own goals for 2-0. Since then, Wilson had a volley just wide. Williams then had a shot just wide as well. For Dundee United, it was Savage with a shot, and Fata had a header off the bar, but they've never really been in it, Dundee United. I expect changes at half-time. Falkirk have been brilliant. Dundee United woeful. Half-time score, Dundee United 0, Falkirk 2.
Thank you to Alan Preston. Next stop, Rugby Park. Kilmarnock at home to Motherwell. Let's hear from Billy Dodds.
Yeah, Motherwell lead at the break, but it was Kilmarnock had a couple of chances in that first half but couldn't capitalise, and then Motherwell was going on to dominate. They started better, but it was Kilmarnock, as I said, 9th minute. Good move. Kilty into the box, 2 or 3 passes, an angled shot with his left foot, and the goalkeeper, Callum Ward, got his hand on it to beat it away. But then Kenny took control. 10 minutes, so we're 1-0 up. Longello down the left, as he does, cross into the box deep, and Maswanisi was at the back post with a toe poke, but Thompson, the wing back, and Oguemi will be disappointed with their defending as well. And just before the half-hour mark, it was 2-0. A well-worked corner, you have to say, played in, flicked out the edge of the box. Maswanisi again waiting on it, thumped the first effort, it was blocked, but the second came and he lashed it high into the net for his and Motherwell's second. They could have gone 3-0 up as well, and Oguemi made a great save from Slattery after more good play from Motherwell. They were really in control now. And Kilmarnock, the fans weren't happy, but they had a chance to get back in it just before half-time. David Watson won the ball in midfield, strode forward and hit a shot from about 18 yards. Should have hit target, but blazed it over the crossbar. Half-time at Rugby Park, Motherwell dominating, and the natives not particularly happy. It's Kilmarnock 0, Motherwell 2.
So in the top flight, Dundee United 0, Falkirk 2, Hibs 1, Dundee 0, Kilmarnock 0, Motherwell 2, Rangers 1, Livingston 1, 8 o'clock start in Paisley. Full coverage to come, St Mirren at home to Celtic. Let's get into the Championship. And surely, game of the day at Firhill. Chick Young is here for us. What's happening, Chick?
That's what was promised, and that's what's been delivered, I think, so far. Kenny, half-time scoreline, joy for Partick Thistle. It's a tale of Perth. Wind and fire from Partick Thistle this afternoon. 2-0 ahead. They are at the break, and that puts some 3 points behind as we stand. St John's at the top of the table, and they have a game in hand. Astonishing. They were ahead after just 5 minutes. Danny O'Reilly, ball came in from the right-hand side. A group of players went for it, and he shelled it into the back of the net. And then just almost with the last kick, I think, of the first half, into time added on. Tony Watt with a lovely left foot drilled shot right along the ground it went. I had a great view of it in beyond the St Johnstone goalkeeper. And again, Thistle secure, and a standing ovation from the supporters as they went in at half-time. Big crowd inside Firhill this afternoon. 1,300 fans making their way down from Perth to watch this. It's a big lead, and I can't say victory yet because we know the St Johnstone team are very capable. I see over there substitutes getting called in. There are going to be changes from Simo Valakari at the start of this second half, without a shadow of a doubt. He'll want more from his team, but what a scoreline that echoes throughout the Championship. Thistle really nailing it to the mast that they are determined to go ahead and win this championship and get themselves into the top division of Scottish football. Half-time scoreline then in Maryhill and Glasgow is Partick Thistle 2, St Johnstone 0.
And just in case anyone missed it, it was Perth, wind and fire. The reference there from Mr. Chick Young.
Depressingly, he's looking at us like, what are you talking about? What is that a reference for?
Trust us, it was genius.
Depressingly young, Rory.
It was genius. Right, next stop, East End Park, and Fernand against Gannett Morton. Willie Miller.
Yeah, quite an entertaining game here, Kenny, and after the first 15 minutes, which was relatively even, but very little chances. The chance was created, and it came for the home side. The goal was scored by Charlie Gilmore. It was Robbie Fraser really making the headwind down the left-hand side. A really excellent run and a fabulous cross into the box. A little bit of curl on it, and there was Charlie Gilmore, who left the defenders for dead. Nobody near him at all. A good 2-3 yards between him and the back four as the cross came in. It was quite a deep cross as well, and he takes it with the forehead, and it's an intelligent header as well. Didn't go for power, went forward position, and he just guided it into the far corner to give at that stage Dunfermline a well-earned lead. They had another opportunity, a good chance a little bit later on down the other side of the park. It was Matty Todd down the right, and he looks up and he picks out Barney Stewart, and Barney Stewart coming in from the 18-yard line, working towards the penalty spot. For me, he should have scored. Listen, it's a good save, there's no doubt about that. It's a good save by Storer in goal, but at the same time it should have been the second. It wasn't. And then on the break, and it's been on the break after that first 15 minutes for Morton. Adeloy had two great opportunities through just the goalkeeper to beat an angle. The first one was an angle, as I said earlier. He just didn't know what to do with it. He just let the ball run back to the goalkeeper. The second one was a better save, tussled with the centre back. He managed to get possession. The goalkeeper came out, made a really good stop as he tried to drill it low. Perhaps if he'd had a little bit more composure and given it a bit of air, he might have found the back of the net. He didn't. That's why at half time it's Dunfermline 1, Morton 0.
Thank you to Willie Miller. So in the championship, Airdrie 0, Ayr United 1, Arbroath 0, Raith Rovers 0, Dunfermline 1, Morton 0, Partick Thistle 2, St Johnstone 0 in League 1, Cove Rangers 0, Alba Athletic 0, Hamilton Accies 1, Kelty Hearts 1, Montrose 2, East Fife 1, Peterhead 0, Stenhouse Muir 1, 5:30 start. Inverness, Cally Thistle are at home to Queen of the South. In League 2, Clyde 1, Annan Athletic 0, Dumbarton 1, Forfar Athletic 3, East Kilbride 1, Edinburgh City 1, Spartans 0, Stranraer 4, Stirling Albion 0, Elgin City 0. We've been asking for your voice notes today. We need your name and your point. 08085 92 95 00, 08085 92 95 00. Get your WhatsApp voice notes in. Here's another.
Hi, it's Ryan Stevenson calling from Edinburgh, just out for a walk at the minute, listening to Sports Sound, and Al Lamont commentary making me well up a bit. What a night that was. Game kicked off. I was watching the game with my three boys when McTominay scored the overhead kick. My two lads jumped on me and I fell on my youngest son. He ended up at the bottom of a massive pylon. Came out looking a bit peely-wally, and the poor wee guy couldn't last any longer. I had to take a dose of Calpol and then head off to bed, so he missed the rest of the game. Major FOMO for him when he woke up and found out the result the next day. My other laddie, Jamie, and I were watching the game. He's a massive jambo, so when Shanklin scored, pure elation, tears rolling down his cheeks. I was hugging him. Then when Tierney scored, tears rolling down both our cheeks, hugging each other. And when McLean scored, taps half, tears everywhere. Absolutely sensational. Well done, Scotland. Made us so proud. Can't wait for June. Cheers, lads.
And do you know what? That's what football does to us. It just stirs emotions. A brilliant story there from Ryan from Edinburgh. And keep them coming in your voices so we can play them out actually later in the programme. I obviously can't do it during open mics, but we've got the opportunity tonight between 5:30 and 7 o'clock. We can get them out when we get the fans on. So if you want to get your voice in, 08085 92 95 00, your name, your team and your points. Our choice of listening once again on sports and full coverage of Rangers against Livingston. That's on BBC Radio Scotland Digital, 810 Media Wave and extra on BBC Sounds. For open all nights, tune to 92 to 95 FM and BBC Sounds, and both are live online, bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland.
Scottish football lives here.
This is Sports Sound.
That is a beautiful finish!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Welcome back to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. Reminder, we're on the telly today, BBC One Scotland, from 4:30 until 5:35. We will get reaction from the managers. Once we're off the television, the conversation continues on BBC Radio Scotland with the fans. We've got some music chosen by a couple of Scotland players tonight. You should look forward to that, particularly the story from Lewis Ferguson. He picks an absolute belter of a tune. And then from 7 o'clock, our coverage will switch to Paisley, the build-up to St Mirren against Celtic. That one gets underway at 8 o'clock at the Smythe Stadium. So let's take a bounce around the grounds for now. Let's get back to the first of our commentary matches of the day. That's at Ibrox. Rangers against Livingston. Ian, obviously we've got all the games coming in here. It's busy. You're trying to keep an eye, but when I look up at the screen here, I didn't see an awful lot of Rangers chances in that first half.
No, I mean, I think up till the Livingston goal, they were obviously the better team and they were pushing a little bit without actually cutting them open. They've made a little change, Kenny, at half-time. Miovski's come on and Asgard has come off. I think they're just dropping Delino off Miovski, who plays the central striker. Listen, going forward, I thought they were okay, to be honest. That's no problem with the drums defensively.
2-1, the back in it.
There you go.
Billy Dodds.
Yeah, it's a brilliant ball and it's a brilliantly worked goal from Commander.
It's tight, very tight.
And I mean, it's brilliant play. It's up to Bruce Anderson, he nick it at the back, up to Anderson, he holds it up, Tiffany makes the run and he threads him through and he finishes with a 1-1 on the goal. He just whips it home. Commander back in it, Commander 1, Motherwell 2.
Yeah, it's a good finish. It just looked a little bit tight for offside there. Well, it's exactly
the reaction. He looked on and when he released it was perfect. It looked from
Here we go. Oh, that is so tight.
That's tight. Looks like he's just leaning into it slightly. He might have timed it perfectly. It is, in second glance, very, very close. But Stuart Kettlewell will be delighted with the reaction. Motherwell, they've been here before, comfortable in the first half, leading games 1-2, even 3-0 at times, and not winning. So that'll give them the fear a little bit.
So that was a great, Rory, great chance for Miovski there, just as Dodgy was describing the goal. A great ball in from Tavernier. It looked a great chance. I think he's 12 yards out. Take a chance. Would he have scored it with Aberdeen? I don't know. It was a decent chance.
Given. Sorry, Ian.
Okay.
Motherwell try to play the game as if it's a free kick. We know it's a free kick. It's going to be offside. They took the ball where it was, but referee has signalled and Commander right back in it with a brilliantly worked goal.
Can you guys hear me, Easter Road here?
Yeah, got you, Michael.
For some reason you weren't hearing me before. Right. You need to look at this incident because I can't quite believe what's happened. The referee, Stephen McLean, has given a free kick to Hibs and booked. I think it was Yogan that was running down the line. And he cuts in front of Rocky Bashiri. One thing is certain, it's not a dive and it's not a booking. That's exactly what the referee's given. It looked as if it was a penalty kick to me. It looked as if Rocky Bashiri is clumsily sort of caught in the back of him, just where the striker's done well and cuts across the face of the defender. McLean's given a free kick to Hibs and booked the winger.
Right,
inexplicable.
Here we go. Here's a replay now, Michael. So Rory and Tom have a look here. That's really clumsy.
Coming together, he's certainly...
It's not a dive.
No, it's not a dive. Here we go. So it does not stand on his heel.
I think it looks like he might stand on his heel. It's definitely not a dive. That's the one thing it isn't.
So he cuts across the defender.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what? For me, as I said, you can argue whether he initiates the contact or whatever. I think there's enough contact there that what you are 100% sure of, it's never a booking.
It's similar
to the white man.
It's similar now. I would need to see it again in terms of the heel. I was watching the kind of the upper body contact.
Yeah,
it's similar to the one I described earlier at Rugby Park, where I don't think it's a free kick to anybody.
Yeah, well, that's
what's the yellow card for?
Well, initially I'm looking and thinking that it's a penalty kick all day long. I watched the replay and I'm not convinced it is a penalty, but it's definitely not a yellow card to the winger. That is for certain.
It can only be for simulation, right?
Yeah, of course it is. That's what Stephen McLean thinks.
That's outrageous. There's no way that's simulation.
No, absolutely not. And Ken, I was going to say to you, obviously you couldn't hear before, just in carrying the theme of, I think it was Ryan Stevenson in Edinburgh, I got a video sent through of my wee man. It was a TV meal, getting back in from football training, and they had the food in front of the telly. McTominay scored. He launched his tea up in the air and all over the living room floor.
I mean, some of the videos were amazing that were doing the rounds. Fantastic.
Kenny?
Yep.
Commander nearly equalised. Should have kicked off the line. You can get a look at it, Rory. 1-2 down the line, cross into the ball, comes to Thompson, drives a shot. It looks as if it's goal bound, kicked off the line. Nearly 2-2.
Why are Motherwell so susceptible?
God, just full press off, overhead. Scott McTominay like overhead kick from David Watson.
Steady.
But sails about 20 yards past.
Well, it's not bad.
Oh, it's good. It's a good connection. Just nowhere near the target.
From about 15 yards wide, just like McTominay.
Why do you think Motherwell struggle so much when they're in commanding positions? I mean, they look so different in the second half of games sometimes, Billy.
I'll tell you what happened here. He's just gone full press on the first half, the 3-5-2, letting Motherwell full-backs go on it, as I said, and then suddenly he's just gone, no, we're going right after them. They get the goal and they look so vulnerable.
Dumbarton won 4 for 4. Martin Rennie on 54 minutes. down in England. Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 2. Savona with the second goal. Yeah, that's a huge story there in 46 minutes. It was really interesting, Tom, not just to labour on this, but I think it's a big moment, clearly. You know, when we're handed to, obviously we're not hearing the commentary from my books because Paul and Richard Foster are a different frequency there, but it's interesting we go to them for their half-time report and their interpretation. It was word for word what you guys are saying in terms of the laws of the game and understanding of it. They were clearly feeling exactly the same as you guys.
I think you could line up 100 football fans and probably the 99 of them would say that was a penalty. I mean, anyway. Look, it's not given.
It's not even as if the ball just hits his arm. His arm swings into the ball.
Yeah,
when you watch the replay, his arm swings into the ball. It's not tucked in next to his body. It's inexplicable how the VAR doesn't give that.
And it might be Liverpool losing 2-0. Robertson is on the bench. Kirkes is starting. That's possibly the reason why they're losing 2-0. Kirkes is nowhere near the level of Andy Robertson. Nowhere near.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think they're missing a few others today as well, but they're in a really poor run, aren't they?
Their front three is Salah, Isak and Gakpo, so it's not too shoddy.
Not too bad
from
at
the
all.
English Premier League though to Scottish League 2, that, you know, the score that caught my eye at half-time, Spartans top of the league. Spartans, they've no unbeaten in 6. Stranraer, who are pretty average to be honest with you, 4-0 up at Spartans.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Last I looked, actually, it was one apiece with the other side, of course, going for the title. That is East Kilbride.
One for you, Michael. A half-time stat from your game. Dundee had 2 touches in the Hibs penalty area in the first half. There can't be any threat whatsoever, clearly.
No, there wasn't.
And still not.
Well, apart from what we just saw there with Yogi and it was driving into the box. It's well, I mean, he's done really well. Crosses it in, Hanley's headed it away. This is probably the most sustained bit of pressure down in Hibs' defensive third that Dundee have had in the game so far.
Michael, let me put this to you. Matthew's got in touch. When do questions start to be asked of Presley? Poor signings, poor tactics.
Salinger's caught it.
Right, poor signings, poor tactics, poor performances. Time's ticking in his opinion. And Stephen Presley said earlier on it's about the hardest job he's had in football, Michael.
Well, yeah, I can understand that, because there was a lot of upheaval that was going on at Dens Park in the
There's a possible red card check here at Tannadice.
Right, OK, we'll get back to you, Michael. Right, we'll try and get a wee look at this here. So who's a red card?
It's going to wait and see. Graham runs across the Dundee United player. Strain, I think it is. We're having a look at it.
It's a forearm. He's pointing to Brian Graham, but we've not seen the incident yet. Nick Walsh is chatting to him.
Yeah, no replay coming through.
He's trying to get his point across. I'm sure he's done that a few times with you, Ian.
Is it Brian that's been thrown an elbow?
Well, I don't know. I've not seen the replay.
He's
allegedly.
He'll be guilty. Believe me.
Right, we're still waiting. Again, we're not seeing a replay. Here we go now.
A nice move from Hibs. Oh, came to nothing. It went out wide to Chris Cadden. Had a chance to play it right in behind the defence, but he didn't. He got cut out at the near post.
I mean, it's an off the ball
one.
I think Brian Graham's.
It's right in the edge of the box.
I think he's just trying to cut across him, Alan, and
that's what Brian Graham's saying to the referee.
He does barge into him, but it's never been a red card. Never been a red card.
So it'll be given then.
Hamilnaki's 2, Kelty Hearts 1. Ollie Shaw with that goal.
Well, you better believe it. He's coming over to have a look.
Well,
right, OK, hopefully we'll get a decent...
I've seen it from distance. I've not seen it up close.
Yeah, we don't see a close-up of that.
So hopefully we'll see the images that the referee has been shown there at Tannadice. Nick Walsh coming across.
If you get them, we'd like to see them.
But you couldn't, from the angle that we've had, you couldn't really judge one way or another, really.
Right, here we go.
To get a close-up.
Right, he's going over now, and of course Brian Graham was pleading his innocence. It's a big moment at Tannadice, you'd have to say. So here we go. Here's a view now, guys. It's still a distance. I mean, you can't.
No, there's a coming together.
I mean, is that the view the referee's seeing?
Surely he's got other angles.
Yes, that one.
Surely.
I don't know whether they're trying to say.
You can't judge for that. You can't judge from that. No chance.
I mean, this cannot end up in a red card for Brian Graham here.
Just because of that's the only angle. Is that what I said?
That's another angle there, but again, it's from miles away.
Does it not just barge into him for the back?
Apparently there's an angle from Dens Park that they're going to show.
I mean, he does make contact with him. It's off the ball, and he does.
What I would say, Rory, is from what I've seen live here, there was no need for Brian Graham to even get involved.
No, that's true.
That's true.
What we need to say here is that if the referee is seeing what we are seeing, you cannot definitively say that is a red card. You cannot say for sure.
No, you can't.
And that is the bar. If you're going to overturn something and give a red card, you need to be sure.
Not from it.
And there's no way you can tell.
None of these angles are sufficient to make a call.
Why is VAR sending him over then? If what you guys are saying,
and he's still standing there, still there. He's not made a call yet. He's had God knows how many.
Here's another. I mean, these angles.
It's just not a red card. It's just not a red card. Yeah,
it's like coming together, isn't it?
Talking to, like, barges into him. I've been there a million times. See, he's a striker when you're running through.
And here we go. Yellow card, and that's probably right. Yeah. From what I remember and what I see during the incident, I thought it was a yellow card. Brian Graham's lucky because there's no need to get involved here. There's no need for him.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. Why he can't show a yellow card off the back of VAR?
Well, he has.
Is that not? They don't get involved in yellow cards, is it?
No, but they thought it was a red, Michael. In their opinion, they thought it was a red.
Yes.
Aye, but
and asked him to
don't think they could rescind them, Michael.
His own opinion.
Right, just clarification on that, because I thought, the VAR don't get involved in, I mean, I understand what's happened there, but I was just, I thought that they don't get involved in incidents that would then be, a yellow card. That was my understanding of it. Perhaps I'm wrong.
They clearly thought there was a chance of a red, so we're going to have a look at it.
We can ask for clarity.
I get that, but I thought it would be either red or nothing, biscuits.
Yeah, no, I get it, Michael, but when you see it, Brian Graham's is madness running it. There's no need to get involved, and he does. He barges into the back of him. It's a yellow card.
But stupidity is not a red card, know.
But barging into him is.
I mean, it's similar to, a ball goes back to the goalkeeper played by a defender. Now, if a striker goes to press it and the defender sees him, the defender will intentionally run across the path and barge into the striker to stop him. And it's one of those where...
here's Hibbs, Bowie's in. He's trying to cut it back on his... He's still got it. Here's McGrath. He's hit the crossbar. He just clipped it from about 20 yards out, and it looked as if it was going to sail over the goalkeeper, and it ends up hitting the crossbar, almost like the junction of the post and the crossbar there.
Michael, can I just say, Tom's doing a classic VAR. He's watching it so many times close up, he's starting to convince himself it's a red card.
No, I'm not. I mean, it's stupid.
That's why VAR should be in the bin, because they're re-refereeing things and making a mess of it. Why VAR have got him, Nick Walsh, over there is beyond belief, because you guys have explained enough for me to understand. Just get on with the game.
Yeah, there's no way he could see enough to give a red card. Peter Headmill, Stennismuir too.
I have a closer in angle here.
What you say?
I can understand why he was called to the monitor, but I think he's made the right decision.
The closer angle then?
Well, I've got the closer angle here. I don't know
why did they not show the ref it then?
Well, I don't know what they showed the referee.
Well, I thought you guys were looking at the pictures.
Well, we were looking at it, but whether they showed him another angle or not, I don't know. But this is a zoomed-in angle here. I could understand why they called him over, because Graham is stupid. Graham has just gone over there and barged into the back of him.
So is it a red card?
No, it's absolutely not a red card.
I don't think it's a red card.
You're only about nothing.
So exactly, why are VAR getting involved?
Right, we'll get some clarity in that.
Rory's absolutely
because they thought it was a possible red card.
Yeah, but this is the point. You've got people that don't understand the game. They're re-refereeing the game.
Yeah, but they got the right decision, Michael.
What?
They got to the right decision.
They've pulled him over because it's a potential red card.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Well, they thought it was a potential red card, and the referee disagreed.
Goal, Easter Road.
Right, goal.
Let's celebrate a goal and stop talking about these balloons. 2-0, Easter Road, and it's Jamie McGrath. Smashes into the bottom corner. It was down the left-hand side. Hibs have been probing for most of the second half as well. Similar vein to the first. And it ricochets back to McGrath. He's in the inside left channel. I think he chokes it slightly, but he finds the bottom corner. And John McCracken, he's got no chance. He's in the bottom of the goal before he can do anything. 2-0 to Hibs.
Chance, Alan?
Carestes, it's a good run from the back, cuts through it in his left foot, tries to bend it in the corner, knocks it wide of the target. Dundee United have been better in the second half. They made a couple of changes at half-time. Kapanovsky and Stein came on. Treves went off and Dolchek also went off, but still Falkirk lead comfortably by 2-0.
Right, I know, Michael, what you said there about the referees, but I think I probably have to just clarify that's your opinion on them, about the standard or their qualities or whatever. But I know, we just have to watch what we're calling them. So that's not our.
It's maybe a deflection here at Easter Road.
Right,
a wee slight deflection as McGrath takes that shot. Yeah, clearly it's my opinion. That's why I'm voicing it. I think they're making an absolute mockery and a mess of things. And you're re-refereeing games, you're killing it. Fans don't like it. The whole thing is a poor substandard.
Right, absolutely. Let me give some goals. Peterhead 0, Stennismuir 2. Ross Taylor with that goal in 58 minutes. Stirling Albion 1, Elgin City 0. Russell McLean on 61 minutes. Wolves 0, Crystal Palace 1. Munoz on 63. And Peterhead 0, Stenny 3. Now Una Ireland 62. Just confirmation. Michael telling us Hibs 2, Dundee 0. Let's go back to the game at Ibrox. What's happening there, McCall?
Well,
Are you there, Ian?
Dropped out. Right, McGowan's just coming on for Livy. They were delighted to get him back. He's been missing for a little while. But Livingston looked just as dangerous as Rangers do, I have to say, in the second half, Kenny, from what I've seen.
Well, that's what I was saying to Ian earlier, Rory. We've got all the games, it's hard to stay across them, but you're looking at every time I look up, you expect, and maybe wrongly, expect sort of chance after chance. Well, we've not seen that.
The thing is, the defence.
Brian Graham's through, goes round the keeper! 3-0!
Wow.
Absolute brilliant from Falkirk. Started with Scott Bain away at the back, plays it into the midfield. It's a brilliant move, played through from Miller to Graham. Not the quickest, gets there before the keeper, round him, rolls it into the back of the net. This game looks done. United fans on their way out. Falkirk lead 3-0.
Yeah, what he lacks in pace, Alan, he makes up for in intelligence. It's a really good run. One touch round the keeper, rolls it into the back of the net. Game over, you would say.
Yeah, as Alan said, the reaction right from the start, actually after the electric start for Falkirk, but that's a real concern. So, Ian McCall, you're back with us. What's happening at Ibrox, Ian?
Well, sorry, a line fell out there. Yeah, I mean, not a lot, Kenny. Miovski had a really good chance with a header. You would expect in his Aberdeen days he buried it. I think he might have been about 12 yards out though, so it would indeed be a good header, but great cross from Tavernier. It's just bewildering how every time the ball goes up to Yenge, the two centre-backs, A, they're apart, B, they want him to get involved with a physical battle with them. If I'm describing Yenge, 6'4", he's strong as an ox. I've got to say, he's not blessed with the greatest touch. You go touch tight, you let him go by the way. If he takes a bad touch, you go nip it. But he's won so many fouls because they want to get physical with him and get in a wrestling match, and it's just not the way to defend against a player like that.
I know.
Tavernier got a free kick just now as we speak, close to the goal.
I think they're looking at a possible penalty here at Rugby Park. You can check out there. I don't think it was. I think it was Robbie Dees getting back, and it's Stamopoulos who's just come on, and I think he got a bit of the ball. The referee doesn't award it, but they're having a look.
Oh dear, I'm not so sure. I think that could be a penalty kick.
So too. I think so too.
I think he just wipes him out. It's mistimed, it's rash, and he catches him. Don't think it's anything more than a penalty, but I think it's a penalty.
Well, okay, so having a look.
VAR could really do with getting this one right.
Right, well, let's have a wee.
He's on a VAR mission, that boy.
We'll have a wee look at this one. So we're just waiting for a replay of this one to come through the studio. Just initial reaction was.
The initial reaction, we'll need to see it again, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Just to see it. It'd be good to see it in real time as well. Sometimes the slowed down ones makes it more difficult to assess it properly. But
Riley's not in a great position. He's straight back from it, maybe 30 yards, having a look at it. No, he's having a look. He's been called to the monitor.
Yeah, I think the feeling in here is, Billy, it's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it once, but it looked a penalty.
Anything can happen. Stuart Kettlewell's remonstrating with him. He's not had a brilliant day, Ryan Lee, I have to say that. Commander fans have been on him, and rightly so at times. But he's looking at the monitor now.
Oh, it's a great ball from Salinger. Martin Boyle's through into the box. It goes behind for the corner. His first touch, he really just needed to take it across the face of Danda, who was trying to get back. Instead, it took him a little bit too straight. Tried to cross it, it's gone behind for the corner.
Right, you have another close look there, Rory.
Penalty kick.
It is a penalty. It's just a clumsy.
I mean, you could argue his stud possibly scrapes the ball, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a penalty all day long.
Poor defending,
just helped on, wasn't it? Then it was a foot race. Then it looked a bit clumsy, but I thought he got the ball, but obviously didn't.
But not just where's the defensive discipline there? He doesn't need to do that.
Yeah, it's rash, and especially they've got back into the game. There's no need to do that. I don't think.
Commander have been really good this second half to Rory, putting the pressure on. really got to equaliser with a Thompson shot, high press, and then suddenly just one out ball. Stamopoulos just on the pitch, and anyway, he gets the penalty. Step up now.
Big moment.
Oh, you maybe just back into his goal.
Fancy him, Billy?
He usually hooks it, doesn't he, to the goalkeeper's right. Kinzoni's put it to the left, and then can he turns his foot in at the last minute. I've watched a couple of his. Here he goes. He goes the left this time. He's obviously thought that the goalkeeper would go that way and just places it to the goalkeeper's left. Goalkeeper goes the wrong way. It's Kilmarnock 1, Motherwell 3, Stamopoulos.
Yeah, long way back for the home side there. Let's get into the championship, and game of the day there is at Firhill. What a start it was to the game for the home side. Chick Young, what's happening now?
The scoreline remains the same. That is Partick Thistle 0, Partick Thistle 2, St Johnstone 0. And Thistle have engineered this magnificently. You know, they got that goal early on, 5 minutes after being hammered for the opening spell, and then Tony Watt with the second one just after 46 minutes put them 2-0 ahead, and they've sat in and defended absolutely brilliantly. St Johnstone are devoid of ideas to get round them and penetrate, and actually for all their possession haven't really created too much torment for Josh Clark in the Thistle goal. It's been a fine performance in a strange sort of way by Partick Thistle. They are looking as if they will be within 3 points of St Johnstone at the top of the league with the game in hand, unless something dramatic happens.
Great feet. It's not scored. Still got a chance. Oh, what a move that was from him. From the other end of the park, where Dundee had the best chance, the best move they've had of the game. It was Congreve down the right hand side, whips a brilliant ball across the face. Yogan gets on the end at the back post. It's going in, and Salinger gets across and scoops it off the line. Hibs went right up the other end. Brilliant move. And then it looked as if McGrath skipping in between a number of Dundee players, but he couldn't score.
Kenny, the attendance at Firhill, 5,461.
Brilliant.
I heard the guessing game on off the ball, so I think Stuart Cosgrove won that one. Even
right?
5-1.
Yeah. Oh, well done, Stuart. Yeah, fantastic. 1,300 away fans there, as Chick was telling us earlier. Let's get to East End Park. Willie Miller is there for us. Dunfermline against Morton. What's the latest, Willie?
Yeah, it's still the same scoreline, but it really has been about the home side. They've played exceptionally well, dominated possession, created a number of opportunities. The Todds, mind you, it's pretty easy to say that the Todds might be involved in something in this Dunfermline side with the three of them on the park, but it was Andy Todd that had probably the best opportunity to set us down the right hand side. The ball hooked across the face of the goal, just couldn't get enough on it to get it over the line, and it was cleared off the line. He had another opportunity where it was a good save, and it was John Todd that had the header that he should have done better and put it over the bar. As for Morton, not enough a lot in the second half. Owen Moffat had a chance, but it was well saved by Billy Terrell in goal. It was from close range, and the ball was cleared, so it's still 1-0 here, but the home side looking good for it.
Well, if there's three Todds in the park, then one of them's not called on you.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
You had a great comeback during the week, Chick.
That guy will email back and say his jokes are dreadful. Honestly, the guy for England, email in and tell us about his jokes.
Yeah, the trip to the World Cup is now in serious doubt for Mr. Young, I have to say. Stirling Albion 1, Elgin City 1. Russell Dingwall equalised in 72 minutes. Yes, dodgy.
Is it Lewis Mayo? Yeah, it's Lewis Mayo. It's just they've been unlucky. Kelly obviously giving away that penalty against the running play. And it's come to Lewis Mayo, and he's rocket smashed off the crossbar.
Go!
Yeah, St Johnstone have got one back. They were pressing and pressing and pressing. It's Jamie Gowan, I think. There was a chance for Saints to hit it. They kept past it. I thought they'd overpassed it. But I think it's Jamie Gowan who drives that one to net, comes off a defender high into the back of the net, and St Johnstone are back in this. I think it may have been a little premature. It is Thistle 2, St Johnstone 1.
Fantastic, thanks to Chick Young there. What a game. He promised to be a fantastic game there at Firhill, and it's turning out to be the case. We're about to go on to television. We'll go around the grounds and bring you all the updates right here on BBC Radio Scotland. Welcome to viewers who have joined us on BBC One Scotland. There is so much drama today, so much to tell you about. Do not go anywhere. We're going to bounce around the grounds. VAR's been involved, some great goals, lots of talking points. Let's get to Ibrox. Rangers are home to Livingston and get the latest there from Ian McCall.
Gassama has just missed an absolute sitter. I mean, it's a good breakaway. Miovski's done well. I thought Miovski was going to shoot. He's reversed it quite cutely into Gassama. he's went to kid on his shoot with his right foot, brought it on his left and tried to slew it, curl it into the far corner, and he's put it by the post. That was the best chance of the second half, and it was just as Livingston were, without taking control of the game, were certainly getting on top. A great chance for Rangers. It's still 1-1, Kenny.
Right, and a big moment in that game for people just joining us on BBC One Scotland. Tom English, we've had some guidance from VAR HQ, but the feeling certainly among all our pundits in this studio was that in that first half at one apiece, Livy should have had a penalty.
Yeah, Yengi attempt on goal.
Again. No, Yengen 1-1 again. I mean, sorry, Tommy. He out-muscled Tavernier.
He did.
Boofed him out of the way, and then just couldn't finish it. It was 1-1. He's got to score.
Yengi heavily involved. He was involved in this penalty incident. It was his attempt on goal. Fernandez handball. VAR adjudicated that his arm was in a natural position and proximity. I don't think many of us agree, and that was the official reason.
Yeah, and we'll get David Martindale's views on that. He'll have strong opinions, I'm sure. Stay tuned. We'll try and get him on television before we leave you on television at 5:35 this evening. Next stop is Easter Road. Hibs are at home to the D. There for us is Michael Stewart. What's the latest, Mikey?
Hibs are 2-0 up, comfortable on top. It's been pretty much that way all afternoon. They've just made a couple of substitutions there as well. On has come Clegic up top. Martin Boyle has gone off, and also they have brought on Obita, and Nicky Cadden has gone off. But yeah, it's been a thoroughly dominant performance from Hibs. They're 2-0 up, could have been more. Dundee have had a couple of chances, or openings I would say, in the second half, more than they did in the first, but still it's very much a controlled performance from Hibs as they break forward here again with Mulligan. He's having a shot from distance, just past the post from Josh Mulligan there. Yep, 2-0 to the home side, and well on top.
And just briefly on that, Michael, we touched on this earlier on. Matthew's got in touch with the programme. He says questions surely have to be asked of Stephen Pressley. Poor signings, poor tactics and poor performances. In his opinion, the clock is ticking. From what you've seen today, how concerned should Dundee fans be?
Well, they're at the wrong end of the table, and I would, looking at them and looking at the other teams in the division, it looks like it's going to be a long season for Dundee. There was a lot of change in the summer. We've already spoke at length about, the decisions that were made at the club. I think had they not pressed the ejector button on Tony Docherty, I think there maybe would have had a bit more stability there. But they made the change. Obviously, Stephen Pressley got the job, and they've rattled through a big turnover of players. So if they're going to make that decision, then it really is up to the board to decide how long they're going to last or how long they're going to stick with it. Clearly the fans are a little bit split on it. They're not sure.
Yeah, worrying times, very controlled performance, as Michael was saying, from Hibs this afternoon. Hamilton Accies 3, Kelty Hearts 1. Kevin O'Hara with that goal on 72 minutes.
Horrendous head knock here, Kenny, sorry.
Right, OK, let's go back to Ibrox. Team call.
I think it might be the boy Fernandez. I don't know what Livingston player is, but they both went for the ball. It was full-blooded. A free kick from James Tavernier. I think it's a real serious one.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can tell by the players reacting.
Yeah, I mean, I was at Thistle recently, when young Fox got his kneecap dislocated. This looks that level, albeit it's the head, which is way more serious.
Yeah, the medical team running on very, very quickly there, Tom. And this is something I know you speak a lot about in sport in general, the head knock.
Yeah, it's obviously very, very serious. Sometimes I feel that football is behind other sports, rugby particularly. Although rugby was very, very slow to wake up to the seriousness of head injuries, or brain injuries as we should call them, because that's what they are. So he looks like he's getting very good medical care there. But yeah, you hate to see them. You hate to see these.
Yeah, Watson, lads, is trying to replicate everything Scotland did. He's just always talking about that overhead kick, but then he's picked up one just inside the half and tries to get the goalkeeper Callum Ward off his line and gets the right trajectory on it, but it just sails past the post.
Just give us an update, Billy, just for those joining us on television. You were saying the home fans clearly very unhappy there.
Yeah, well, not with the second half performance, I have to say that. Kenny Kelly with the better team, but Motherwell have sucker punched them with the penalty. They were 2 at the first half, 2-0 down, and then suddenly Kelly put on the full press, got the goal, got one kicked off the line, and it looks as if they were going to equalise, and then suddenly just one through ball, penalties given. Stavropoulos just stuck it away beyond the goalkeeper, but Kelly fighting back again when Lewis Mayo crashed one off the crossbar, so it's not quite done yet. But what is it, 76 minutes gone? Kelly need the next goal.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Dodgy. That was a claim for a penalty.
Right, Firhill in the Championship. Chick Young's there. Thistle against St Johnstone, Chick.
Yeah, I thought that was a claim. So did the St Johnstone fans claim for a penalty. Just to remind you, Thistle were 2-1 ahead. O'Reilly and Watt put them ahead in the first half. But since then, Josh McPake has got one back for St Johnstone. St Johnstone currently are all over Partick Thistle. They have got the ball into the box there. There was a claim for a penalty, as I said, waved away by the referee, but St Johnstone remain in possession and they are hunting down this equaliser. It's going to be a climatic finish with this one without a shadow of a doubt.
Chick, you gave this game the big build-up, game of the day in the Championship, of course, and a huge crowd in attendance at Firhill this afternoon.
Yeah, in excess, well in excess of 5,000, 5,461. They've created a great atmosphere actually, and St Johnstone are responding to their travelling support of 1,300 inside Firhill this afternoon. It's been a game that has ebbed and flowed, although the tide stayed constant at times, because at first it was all St Johnstone. Thistle got into it, got themselves level, and then it was all St Johnstone again. Thistle got forward, got that goal from Tony Watt, almost the last kick of the first half, and time added on, and then, as I said, Josh McPake's got one back for St Johnstone. The referee's actually come waving to Thistle to go on with it. They're down to the time wasting stage of the game. It's a dramatic game, Kenny, and remember, it means so much. 3 points it could be at the end of the day with a game in hand for Thistle, just 3 points behind if it stays this way, and Thistle coming forward again. This has been brilliant.
Kenny, can I just say Mo Silla is up, the Livingston midfielder, from a really bad head knock, but he's been substituted, but he's walked down the side of the park, so he's okay. Yeah, that's good news. Ian looked a very serious one there. The medical team's running onto the park, but hopefully that's good news there at Ibrox. Now, if you're just joining us, wait to hear this scoreline from Tannadice. Dundee United against Falkirk. Alan Preston.
Well, it's Dundee United 0, Falkirk 3. They've been absolutely brilliant, the Falkirk Bairns. Thoroughly deserves a 3-0 lead at the moment, Kenny, and they took lead in 4 minutes. Calvin Miller was played through, he's on his weaker right foot, hits a shot. Kucharenko, who's been dreadful, spills it. Miller continued his run and knocked it into the back of the net. It was 2-0 in 22 minutes. A simple in-swinging corner. Kucharenko, the United keeper, comes for it. He's nowhere near it. He punches it with his left hand into the back of the net for 2-0. 63 minutes, and in fact 60 minutes, Brian Graham was subject to a VAR check for a possible straight red for an off-the-ball incident. The referee eventually gave him a yellow, and 2 minutes later he made it 3-0. But it was a brilliant goal from Falkirk. Scott Bain to Spencer, into Miller, his ball through to Graham, round the keeper, into the back of the net. Falkirk have been sensational. Dundee United dreadful. 3-0.
Yeah, Rory, your former club, of course, very dear to your heart. We look at the live table, they remain in 5th spot, but as things stand level in points with Rangers.
Yes, indeed. I've said from very early on in the season I thought they'd be okay, and it's a very difficult league to predict in terms of who is going to go down. It's not often been the case that you can't really isolate one team, and Falkirk have been absolutely phenomenal. They've come in, and I think John McGlynn's been pragmatic at times.
Oh, sorry, Rory, what a chance for
Right,
St
back to Firhill.
What a chance for St John's to equalise. In fact, 2 opportunities in one. Ball played in from the left-hand side. Little ball played across. The goalkeeper's not going to get it. And another Josh McPake coming forward. Can't get hold of that either. And Partick Thistle breathed again. They got away with that one. It remains 2-1 to the Jags.
Right, potentially a big moment at Ibrox. Ian McCall.
Yes, it was Diamondi with a tap-in. Miofsky looked offside. The referee's given offside, but there's now a goal check for it. Diamondi had to tap in to put Rangers 2-1 up. We're right in the middle of the VAR check for offside.
Right, we're waiting on a replay here in the studio, Rory. We've not seen that yet. This is a huge moment in the game, particularly given that big decision in the first half, so we're still waiting to find out.
Sorry, Kenny, I thought Miofsky looked offside as he made his run. I also thought Diamondi was offside after that. The guys will be able to tell me.
Right,
that's maybe why it'll take a bit longer than normal. If there's a couple of checks, we're still waiting to see the actual incident.
Here we go.
To go. They've given the goal. The Miofsky must have been onside.
The first one's certainly onside.
Yeah,
not seen the second one.
The goalie's, I think his goalie's made a little save and it's landed. I think it's Diamondi, and Diamondi's up with Miofsky, and he's all he had to do is roll it into an empty net. And actually, when he rolled in, he looked guilty himself. I think he thought he was offside, but the goal's been given, and it's an important goal. Rangers 2, Livingston 1.
Yeah, huge goal. Stay tuned for the reaction from the Livingston manager, Davy Martindale. If it stays like this, that's a show. Look down in England. Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 3. Morgan Duncan Gibbs-White with that goal on 78 minutes. Absolutely remarkable.
That's what happens when you don't have Andy Robertson in your team.
Yeah, he didn't start today. Every time he doesn't start, Liverpool lose a match. Yeah, he was fantastic again, and the way he spoke after the game, you have to say, on Tuesday, and absolutely magnificent from the Scotland captain.
On Rangers, Kenny, my goodness, they needed that goal because they were toiling. They had so much possession, 78-79% possession, but Livy had more shots on target up to the Monday goal.
Yeah, they also had the best chance of the second half.
The penalty, the controversial penalty incident. So. Wow, that could be a huge goal for Rangers.
Fuel to the flames of Davy Martindale's post-match.
What
absolutely.
a save from Raphael Salinger.
Right, Easter
it's
Road.
A great ball in from a free kick out wide from Congreve. And I think it's Clark Robertson round the back post, and he's probably about 2 yards out at this point. He hits it, it's on target, and somehow the Hibs goalkeeper has got an arm up and puts it over the crossbar. Yeah. That's an incredible save.
His save earlier on as well, for the one at the back post, exceptional, but that one there is fantastic. Unbelievable reactions. It's so close to him, and he gets his hand up so quickly.
Right, let's get back into the Championship. Let's get to East End Park. Willie Miller is there for us this afternoon. Dunfermline at home to Morton. What's happening, Willie?
Pretty much the same pattern, Kenny. The home side dominating just about everything. Morton they look a little bit threatening in the break, but nothing's ever came of it. Perhaps the first half was the two best opportunities to Adelaide, but they didn't take them. But it's been constant pressure, some good football, some great energy. The fans here, and you're talking about crowds, 4,989 and only 264 Morton fans in that crowd. So it's a good crowd here, great atmosphere. The home side are well on top. As I said earlier, as a young side, they're full of energy, full of running. Morton haven't given up, that's for sure. Any opportunity they can get on the break, they'll certainly take it, but nothing really is coming of it. It all seems to peter out or cross into the box here at this moment in time is easily cleared. So Morton is sniffing an opportunity to perhaps get an equaliser, but it's been the home side that's dominated this game after the first 15 minutes. They're still up 1-0.
Yeah, as Willie was saying earlier, Rory, there's just a feeling that Neil Lennon's building something at East End Park.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he knows his way around a rebuild and a restructure. He's a very experienced manager, and I think there's signs there, especially with the Trod brothers, that they're coming into their own. It's a very competitive league. There'll be bumps along the way. It'll not be perfect. I think this year they might need to settle for playoffs unless there's a big swing. But yeah, I think they're in safe hands with Neil Lennon.
Down in England, Jimenez with a goal. Fulham 1, Sunderland 0. Let's get back to the game at Rugby Park. Billy Dodds is there for us this afternoon. We've spoken a lot about Motherwell this season, the fantastic football, perhaps not getting the results they deserve. Billy, in the second half, it sounds a bit of a hard luck story for Kilmarnock, but it's a really worrying run of form for Stuart Kettlewell, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the main point. It's still looks like 6 defeats in the bounce, but they've been a lot better this second half. In fact, Motherwell for periods have had to hang in there and not been playing their flow football. In fact, they got their goal against the running play, but Kelly then smashed the bar. They got, as I said to you, Ken, they get the goal, they thought they were going to get the equaliser kicked off the line, then they're pushing, and then Motherwell hit them with a sucker punch, then they hit the bar. So there's loads going on. Kelly have been the better team second half, but overall you'd have to say the damage was done in the first half, and Motherwell look as if they're going to get the points and probably deserve it.
Right, let's get back to Tannadice. What a scoreline for Falkirk, Alan Preston. I'm just wondering, from what you've seen, why are they so successful? What works for John McGlynn and his team?
He's got pace, he's got enthusiasm all over the place. They play really a good brand of football. They've got a goalie that can play the ball out the back with his feet comfortably. He becomes like an extra outfield player for them as well. And you look at that for the third goal, the way he passes it through the lines, it was magnificent. So Falkirk have just got real good energy about them as well. Dundee United, on the other hand, when you've got a keeper that's thrown 2 in, it's always a long way back, and I think that's something that they're going to have to address, because it's cost them a lot of goals this season so far. But take nothing away from Falkirk, they've been absolutely magnificent, ably backed with a crowd that has not stopped singing since that first goal went in 4 minutes. They've been brilliant.
Yeah, it's such a good news story. We saw the pictures come into the studio earlier on, guys, of the United keeper. He was distraught when the second goal went in, and the discussion at that point was, should Jim Goodwin make a change? His confidence is gone, but I'm surprised he's lasted the game, I think it's fair to say.
It's a big thing, and it'll take your goal. I mean, there would be legitimate grounds for taking him off at half time. Because, as you say, he's punched one into his own net. He's blundered for the first one as well. His confidence shot to bits. But you could destroy the guy. You take him off at half time, you could absolutely destroy
the reaction from the defenders is so telling. Normally in that situation, players will have a pop, they'll have a go. Yeah. Like, you're costing us here, like, get your finger out, like, what's going on? And they'll have a bit of a pop. The first instinct was to try and protect him, to say, look, you're going to need to get yourself the other here, because this is going to continue if you keep doing this. Even the Brian Graham one, I think he rushes out far too early. It's not the biggest finger of blame compared to the other two, but I thought at that moment in time, given the reaction of the defenders, got to look after the team as well, and then try and rally round him during the week and try and get his confidence up that way. But I thought the best thing to do for the team at that point was maybe to make the change.
And the right call, the Brian Graham, and the referee was called over. Potential red card, the correct call for the yellow. Yeah, absolutely. Right, OK, let's go back to Ibrox. It's quite an interesting game there. Terry McCall is there for us. Ian, we spoke before the game about what you've seen that's better under Danny Rule. Now, we know he's missing a couple of defenders today, but really suspect at the back this afternoon.
Well, quite easily for me to tell you what's worse. The centre-backs today, really, and you know me, I don't like really piling on, but they were really, really poor. The drop-off between the first-choice centre-backs and the two guys that have come in should not be as big. There's no way it should be as big. The full-backs have done OK, but both full-backs on either side, Tavernier and Magoma, are good attacking full-backs. So there's not really any out-and-out defenders in that back line. So, I mean, as I said, I think Fernandes, I know they paid too much money for him, but, he's got something, I think, if he can play beside somebody with a bit of experience. But defensively, they've been poor. Going forward, they've been OK, and there's certainly been some urgency about them, but to be honest, Livingston had the best. I mean, as the guy said in the studio, it should have been a penalty, it should have been a handball. I thought Yengi should have scored anyway, but Yengi had a great chance in the second half, 1-on-1 with the goalie to put them 2-1 ahead, and they're a wee bit unfortunate. I know Rangers have had 70-75% possession, but Livingston are a bit unfortunate to be 2-1 down given the chances of the game, but it's still 2-1. It's an interesting game though, Kenny.
Yeah, I mean, Fernandes, $3.5 million, Tom, Giga, a hefty loan fee. It's a concern that the money that's been spent and the lack of improvement, the argument actually could be that they've deteriorated that side.
Yeah, absolutely there's a case. I mean, they're toiling, and okay, they're ahead, but this has been hard work for the team that are against teams that are in 11th place. They're missing their top two centre halves in Suter and Cornelius. They've got Enciala on the bench as well, who is pretty average. What we saw of him so far. So they've got three guys now. Fernandes, the jury's out for me. Giga, I think, is a poor defender. Enciala, I'd look to be a poor defender. They have a lot of players at Ibrox, but a lot of them are thoroughly unconvincing in all areas of the park, actually. I mean, they're white players. Atman again. I just don't see it.
I think what you need,
up
front,
I can't see it with these guys.
Yeah, Kenny, I think you need really mobile centre-backs and really, really good defenders. If you've got two full-backs that are going to be playing almost like wingers, particularly at home games, but you certainly need really mobile centre-backs and really good centre-backs defensively.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of minutes ago the camera actually panned to Sporting Director Kevin Thelwell. A lot of criticism has come his way, and right now you'd say rightly so. He needs to do a lot better if they spend again in that January window.
Mike, Dundee have had a few chances in the last 15 minutes. Keeper it looks a bit chaotic, but the keeper actually does really well there to stop the player scoring.
Well, it was interesting because the ball had just come straight from the other end. Sorry?
It's Danda, Jan Danda. Sorry, I was just saying it was Jan Danda.
Yeah, but I was just saying it came right from the other end. The ball went up the park. I think it was Callum Jones went into a header. He shoved, I'm not sure which Hibs player it was, but it was a blatant shove on the attacker, and it went straight up, and Danda flicked it and ran through and almost scored. And I don't know why Steve McLean was standing watching it, but he allowed the game to play on. If that had been scored, then I can't see how it would have stood, because, as I said, the Dundee player shoved the Hibs defender in the back, won the header, and it literally just went right into the opportunity for Dundee almost to score. Salinger did well, and it, eventually it came to nothing. But bizarre from the referee.
We're into 5 added-on minutes at Tannadice, where there's more Falkirk fans in than United. They're getting an absolute doing, but chance for United just goes away. Corner. Falkirk, take nothing away from Falkirk, Kenny. They have been magnificent. Absolutely deserve every credit that they're going to get for this performance. But Dundee United have been hamstrung, I suppose, with the goalkeeper mistakes, but they've not played well.
Yeah, they're a very good watch. Let's get back in the championship. Must be deep in the closing stages here at Firhill. Chit Young.
Yeah, well, the 90 have come and gone, Kenny. We're at time added on. It's 2-1 to Thistle. And just picking up on what Willie was saying earlier on, there's a huge match if it stays like this here at Firhill on Tuesday night when Thistle play their game in hand against Dunfermline, who have ambitions of their own, as Willie was saying. Huge crowd today, but another massive crowd on Tuesday night. If they can keep it like this, they have been hanging on in the last few moments. The game has stopped at the moment. It's another injury on the far side of a Thistle player down. I don't know if it's just cramp. No, it's not cramp. He's getting a bit of attention down there. But in any case, Thistle fans just desperate for this full-time whistle to go. Remember, if it stays like this, they are 3 points behind St Johnstone at the top, with that game in hand to come here against Dunfermline on Tuesday night. What a match that's going to be. What an attendance it will be. And Thistle fans really desperate for this full-time whistle to go. There'll be a bit to go yet. We're into time added on, but there'll be a few moments of that as well. This is dramatic.
Yeah, so much praise has to go to Mark Wilson. I think a few eyebrows were raised when he got the job, but he's doing a terrific job there. As Chick said, what a game on Tuesday evening. The chance for Thistle to go level on points with St Johnstone at the top of the table if this game deep into the closing stages remains as it is at the moment. Let's get back to the match at Rugby Park. Billy Dodds is there for us. What have you made of Motherwell this afternoon, Billy? So much praise in this programme for them. Had they been their fluent selves today?
In the first half, no doubt they played some really good football. Kelly couldn't get near them, got their 2 goals, missed another excellent chance, and then they're showing on another side where they've had to dig in this second half. They've done that, ridden the luck at times, but got through certain stages and maybe could have nicked another couple. But they've shown both sides today, probably deserve the points, Kenny, but Kelly made them work hard second half with 20 seconds to go.
Right, let's get back to Michael at Easter Road. Mikey, I think it's fair to say Hibs have been a bit inconsistent this season, but there's no doubt at all there's an awful lot of talent in that Hibs squad right now.
Yeah, there is. They've made a number of subs as well, which shows the strength and depth that they've got in the squad. Dundee, it's a bit of a tough moment for them. They're not looking like they're really capable of picking up results, all from that the halcyon days of beating Celtic at home, and it's been a downward trajectory since. Whereas for Hibs, yeah, this is just them backing up that victory against St Mirren with a really good performance and result here, and they need to just start stringing those performances and results together, and there's no reason why Hibs shouldn't be up there challenging in and around they're sort of floating around second and third spot at the moment. There's no reason why they shouldn't be looking to stay there, because they have got a lot of quality and strength and depth.
Yeah, Hibs third on the table, 21 points, level with Rangers, who do have a game in hand. Rangers a narrow advantage to home to Livingston this afternoon. Ian McCall is there for us. What's happening now, Ian?
Well, it's still the same. I mean, the Rangers are even dominated possession of the ball going into injury time. I mean, Livingston are having a goal. They brought on Bakila up at centre forward. They brought Muirhead on to play just behind them. They've not really had any chances since Rangers went ahead. Indeed, it's been more Rangers. They brought on Conor Barron and Lyle Cameron, 2 young Scottish players. So it looks like Rangers are just trying to see the game out, and I think it'd be a really, really important win to go 4 wins in a row. It's not been pretty, but it'll be an important win for them if they manage to hold out.
Yeah, in a few minutes' time, what we'll do is we'll go through the classified scores. We'll do all the Scottish leagues for you. We'll also do the English Premier League, some strange scorelines down there today, and then we'll go through all the Scottish tables for you. Very interesting reading this afternoon. Let's get back into the Championship. Right, Willie Miller, just give us that full-time report there. So a narrow victory for Neil Lennon's side.
It's a narrow victory in terms of the goals, Kenny, but the overall play, the possession, the chances were all down to the home side. The first half at 16 minutes when when the goal came in. It was a corner. Sorry, you've taken me a little bit by surprise here, and just try to get myself back in shape. Charlie Gilmore it was that made the run to the near post. The cross came in from Robbie Fraser, and he guided it into the back of the net in the far post. They had another opportunity just before half time as well. Matty Todd down the right, and Barney Stewart should have done much better than what he did. It was a glaring opportunity for him to take it to. Into the second half, the first half, Adloy had a couple of opportunities, Kenny, right through, but showed no composure at all when trying to beat the goalkeeper. In the second half, it was waves of attack from Dunfermline. Andy Todd had a chance, it was just cleared off the line. John Todd had a header over the bar. Andy Todd again through a really good save from the goalkeeper. Then Robbie Fraser had a chance to really finish it, but blasted it over the bar. In the second half, it was just late on that Morton made a real effort, but Dunfermline stood very strong at the back, well organised, disciplined, restricted chances, and it ended here at the end of the day 3 points for Dunfermline, 1-0 to them.
Good stuff, thanks to Willie Miller. Right, hold on, so full-time score. We'll stay in the tramps. Let's go to Chick Young, Firhill.
Yeah, it's bedlam inside the Glasgow Stadium for the second time in 5 days, because Partick Thistle are now 3 points behind St Johnstone at the top of the championship. They won this one by 2 goals to 1. Danny O'Reilly scoring after just 5 minutes. It was all St Johnstone between that and Tony Watt's goal with the last kick of the first half. Into time added on. Josh McPake got one back for Saints in the second half, but a dramatic climax with Thistle clearing everything around them and defending very stoically indeed. Magnificent performance by them. They take a round of applause from their standing fans who are applauding them back. They're going a little lap of honour. It's a magnificent win for Thistle. Tonight now they sit 3 points behind St Johnstone, a game in hand, and it's a huge game in hand. It's here in Maryhill against Dunfermline on Tuesday night. They have another monster attendance for that one. 5,461 inside the old ground today. And I tell you what, Firhill is alive again. It's Firhill for thrills over again. It's Thistle 2, St Johnstone 1.
Thanks to Chick. He'll go off and speak to both managers. You'll hear them in BBC Radio Scotland between 5:35 and 7 o'clock. So the full-time whistle's going right across the country. Let's get to Easter Road. I can see the pictures coming into the studio. You're all done there, Michael Stewart.
Yeah, it's finished here at Easter Road, 2-0 to the home side. Thoroughly deserved victory for Hibs, and backs up the victory that they got before the international break when they beat St Mirren 3-0, and it cements their position in third spot in the table, 2 points behind Celtic, who play at 8 o'clock tonight against St Mirren.
Yeah, and full coverage of that game on BBC Radio Scotland, all that to come. So we'll get more from Michael a little later in the programme. Let's then get to Tannadice. Full-time whistle there. Let's get the full-time report from Billy Dodds. Sorry, from Alan Preston.
Dundee United 0, Falkirk 3, Kenny, and it was a walk in the park for Falkirk this afternoon. But they've got a big helping hand from the Dundee United goalkeeper Kucherenko. In 4 minutes, Calvin Miller's played through. He's on his right foot for the edge of the box. He hits a shot. Kucherenko spills it. And there's Miller, who's following in just to knock his shot home into the back of the net. It was 2-0 in 22 minutes, and this time it was an own goal by the keeper Kucherenko. It was an in-swinging corner from Miller. He comes out under no real pressure, the keeper, and with his left fist punches it into his own net. He was distraught at this point. It was in 61 minutes. There was a VAR check. Brian Graham subject to a VAR check for a straight red after a off-the-ball incident, but the referee had a look at it, lengthy time to look at it, and produced a yellow card. And 2 minutes later, Graham rounded it off to make it 3-0. Brilliant play by Scott Bain to start with, into Spencer, into Miller. His pass to Graham. He went round the keeper and rolled it into the back of the net. Dundee United did hit the bar in the first half from Fata with a header, but they've been really, really poor. Scott Bain, clean sheet on his 34th birthday, and I've got to say congratulations to him, because he took it 4 or 5 minutes standing with Kucherenko, consoling him as the both of them came off. Full-time score at Tannadice, Dundee United 0, Falkirk.
Full-time at Ibrox, 2-1 to the home side. Right,
we'll get to. I just want to say come back to this. I'm glad Alan pointed out. We saw the pictures come in, really classy from Scott Bain. We'll get back to that in a few minutes' time. It's a really difficult afternoon for Kucherenko there, the United goalkeeper. But full-time score, let's go to Ian McCall at Ibrox. Ian.
Yeah, it's 2-1 to Rangers, a very important result for them. Diamonde I mean, was it Diamond got the goal in 79 minutes that put the game beyond Livingston? Livingston played really well. Yengi had a really good chance one-on-one in the second half to put them ahead. And do you know what, Kenny? Just in the very last minute, about the 96th minute, Muirhead has had a chance at the back post for Livingston on his left foot, and he strikes a fantastic ball. Unfortunately, put it over the top. A really, really important result for Rangers. Livingston will be angry that they didn't get a penalty in the first half. I thought Yengi should have scored anyway, but it was a handball after that. Pretty clear to you guys in the studio, but nonetheless a very, very important result for Rangers. It finished Rangers 2, Livingston 1.
Ian, just briefly for now, the performance will matter to the manager, and it should be of concern, I'd imagine, to the Rangers fans. It just wasn't good enough today, was it?
No, it wasn't good enough. Defensively, it wasn't good enough. The middle of the pitch, there's no issues, I don't think. I mean, even the two boys, Barron and Lyle Cameron, they brought on. I thought Diamondi was terrific today. They've got Nico Raska. In the middle of the pitch, no problem. It's the bit further forward and it's the bit behind them that needs fixed. I don't think they've got a striker of note that's good enough to go and score your 25, 30 goals. Which, bizarrely enough, Cyril Dessers used to do quite comfortably, but really at the back, I know they've had bad luck on the international scene with Cornelius and John Souttar, our own John Souttar, getting injured, but the two boys that came in didn't cover themselves in glory. And in fact, Yengi, he gave them problems all day, running beyond them. They were getting too tight to him. They don't mark spaces well enough. They don't deepen well enough. Listen, there might be improvement in Fernandes. Who knows? There might be improvement on Giga. I've only seen them 3 or 4 times, but they certainly, against more potent attack, and I don't want to be unfair in Livingston, but against more potent attacking threats, the two centre-backs will go ripped apart. It's as simple as that.
Right, thanks to Ian McCall. It's going to be very interesting, Rory, to hear post-match reaction from the Livy manager, Davy Martindale. So we got the guidance through from VAR HQ. For you, it just didn't square up, did it?
No, it didn't. It's an effort towards goal. It's not a particularly great effort. It's not hit with a lot of pace. I don't think that's particularly relevant. It is a shot towards goal, and the defender's arm is out. It hits his arm 4 yards, 5 yards from the goal, and it is a penalty kick. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, Davy Martindale was having a very good look at it on his screen, Tom, but you got the guidance through from VAR HQ.
We got the guidance, and we're grateful for the guidance, but we don't have to agree with the guidance. And I don't think
it's not the guidance we're disagreeing with, Tom. The guidance is just
the decision makes the decision. So we know what VAR have decided, and I think we just disagree with it. It looks like the arm is out to me. It does. There's the guidance saying is that it was in a natural position because of his movement.
The subjective argument is wearing thin as well. Now, you can defend anything by saying, well, that's my opinion, that's how I view it. Well, if there's a groundswell of different or opposing views, you've got to start looking at things and assessing it, and it's becoming a bit of an out. This whole
consistency's key as well, isn't it?
Consistency's key, but
just you never going to relate consistency. But you related a decision, didn't you? Was it Tony Ralston you said?
Well, the Tony Ralston one, he comes out and it hits his arm, and for me, there's a good chance the penalty's not given if it's not heading towards goal, because there's a good chance it could end up in the bottom corner. Now, that is a shot towards goal. It hits his arm. It's more of a clear handball than Tony Ralston's one. And it just fits every criteria for me for being a penalty. And they will, this whole subjective thing, whilst I do understand, it's difficult to argue against, and that's why they put it forward. But, I just don't think there's any way, shape or form in any game ever that's not a penalty kick.
Right, there was commentary of that game on BBC Radio Scotland with Paul Mitchell and Richard Foster there, so we'll get to them in a couple of minutes' time. Let's just get the full time. We've not heard from Billy Dodds at Rugby Park. Billy, come on against Motherwell. How did it finish there?
Yeah, it finished here, Kilmarnock 1, Motherwell 3. All the damage was done in the first half, Kenny, and Motherwell took control in 10 minutes when Longolo, his cross found Mashwanisi, and the back post, he toe poked into the net. I don't think the goalkeeper will be too thrilled, or Thompson with the defending, and a few moments later they made it 2-0. Again, it was a brilliantly worked corner, played into the front area, flicked to Mashwanisi at the edge of the box. His shot was blocked, and then he thumped the rebound in high into the net. They could have had a third when the goalkeeper Oluwinemi, he denied Slattery to stop a third. And it would have been interesting to see Stuart Kettlewell's half-time team talk, because they come out fighting and they went right at Motherwell, high press, and they get right back in it. When a brilliant move from Brown into Anderson, found Tiffany with a one-on-one situation, and he just coolly tucked it away. Their tails are up. Thompson had a strike, booted off the line, and then when you just thought they were going to get back in it, Motherwell scored against the running play, I have to say. Through ball, too easy. Dees brings down Stamopoulos. The referee said no, the VAR said yes, and Stamopoulos coolly tucked away the spot kick. Mayo hit the crossbar. Dackers, the sub, had a really good chance when he poked narrowly wide, but Kelly much better in the second half, but the damage was certainly done in the first by lethal Motherwell. It finished at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 1, Motherwell 3.
Yeah, can I just say quickly, I've seen the Dundee United one again, the Brian Graham one, and the defender actually runs across. I don't know whether he means it or not, but he actually takes a few steps across Brian Graham. I don't know if he's even looking at him. I don't even think it's a yellow card.
You don't?
No, I don't.
The problem we had earlier, we didn't have the right angle to. We didn't have good.
I don't think it's a yellow card.
But Graham can avoid him. I mean, the defender's walking across, but he doesn't have to plough into the back of him.
I
don't think it's any more than a yellow card.
I don't think it's a yellow card. I just don't.
Right, we'll bounce around the grounds. We'll get more from the guys. I can see Jens Bertolascu in front of me here, the Motherwell manager. He'll be absolutely delighted, as Billy was telling us, they're a good victory for his side today. We'll also cross to a commentary team at Ibrox in a few minutes' time. But for now, let's go through the classified scores.